99.9 The Fan.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. I'm Tim Donnelly, Dennis Cox producing the show. It's here. It's happening. It wasn't the prettiest start to it all last night, but it's here and it's happening. The NCAA tournament, March Madness.
Let's go.
I'm gonna show the YouTube / online stream audience. I have a bracket in front of me.
I too have a bracket.
Dennis has a bracket. I tried to turn my mic off so the other camera would turn on and you could show yours.
It's all good.
There we go. We got brackets. You can't see what's written on it, but I'm holding up a sheet of paper. It is here, and it is real, and it is spectacular. There you go.
Brackets, folks.
Here's my annual. I do this once a year, okay? And it's right on. Usually I do it on Wednesday. Tomorrow will actually be on before the games get started. A bit of programming news will be on at 10 a.m. So I could save this till tomorrow, but by that point, most of the brackets are locked and loaded anyway. If you're in any kind of, hand, my family league, you still have to fill it out by hand. You can't. Okay. There's no online apps or anything. I respect
that.
It's old school.
I respect it.
Usually you have to have them in by Wednesday, or you have to have them at least submitted, postage stamped, whatever, by Wednesday. Here's my. There's only a few speeches I give like yearly. This is one of them. Every year when I fill out my bracket, okay, I realize something. I don't know, genuinely do not know anyone in my life that consumes more sports content than I do. Dennis can second this. Every day from morning until show, I have a video podcast playing, something sports related, oftentimes college basketball. And then on the other side of my computer, I have either something I am reading about sports, oftentimes college basketball, or an open notes app, and I am typing my thoughts about something sports, often college basketball.
Yeah.
Occasionally, I pry myself away from that screen to have a conversation about something sports, often college basketball, with Dennis or with someone else around the office. And then I go home and guess what? Play with my son for a little bit. We have some games, eat some dinner, and then I watch more sports, often college basketball. And so every year I sit down to do my bracket, and I think nobody's going to be more prepared for this than I am. And then I get like 2 games in, and I realize there's a matchup of 2 teams that I know absolutely nothing about. It is physically impossible. All of the college basketball insiders on television that are going to read you their bracket as if they know. At best, they have bullet points on like half the teams. There's no way you could watch all of the teams. There's no way. So pick your teams, right? That's always my advice. Pick the teams you like. Pick the teams you want to root for. Pick the teams that are more fun to have go further in your bracket because, and I say this as somebody that has tried to know it all, nobody knows it all.
No one does. Not even close.
I don't care. It could be your job. It is our job. Right, and then you get to the top left, and you're like, UConn, all right, cool. UConn Stetson, I know a lot about UConn. Feel like I'm confident in that one. Florida Atlantic, I remember them from last year. Got something going on there, cool. UAB, San Diego State. When's the last time I watched Ivy League basketball? Yale?
Never.
We got to know yet. Not never. I used to cover Cornell. Relax now. But this year, never. You want
to talk Ivy League lacrosse, I'm your guy.
All I know is Dartmouth is unionizing, and that doesn't tell me how good Yale basketball team is. So we're going to go over our picks. This is why my strategy for bracket organization is to work in reverse. Pick the teams that you think are very good. Pick the teams that you think have a legitimate shot to win a national championship, and put them as far as you feel comfortable putting them. And then fill out retroactively. Because you're going to try to agonize over, let's say you're a gigantic, Purdue fan. You're Zach Edey till you die, which, your bracket did last year. Let's say you're a big Purdue fan. You're going to agonize over Utah State and TCU. And then you're going to recognize, they're going to lose to Purdue in the second round anyway because I'm a massive Purdue fan. That's not me. That's just an example. So work in reverse. Work in reverse. And when I worked in reverse, guess what I learned about my bracket this year?
What's that?
It's chalky plus Kansas.
I know you have not seen my bracket probably, but we are very similar.
Really? That's disappointing.
Is it?
I don't know. I feel like we got to compete or something. I have UNC, UConn, and Houston in my Final Four, and then I have Kansas as my surprise. Is that exactly what you have?
I have UConn, UNC, Houston, Kansas.
Oh, man. Now I want to change it.
I posted mine yesterday on X, by the way, so it's been out there.
I did not look at yours on X.
And so it's been out there, just to clarify.
So what is this segment? Is just going to be me saying something and you going, yep, and then you saying something and me
Well,
going,
I mean, we can also go through like how far we have Duke, NC State going. We can go through some of those things, but also who's your champion. You have a final score. Give me some of these things.
I don't have a final score, at least not yet. I have UConn over Houston. It's chalky.
Oh, you have UConn over Houston. Okay, I have North Carolina over Kansas.
Okay. All right, so we differentiate there. All right, now I feel a little bit better. Here's how far I put Duke. You ready? And this is a description before I tell you exactly how far I actually put them. I put them as far as I could put a soft team. I think they can out-talent their way past Vermont. I think they can out-talent their way past who I have JMU in that next round. I think it could be Wisconsin as well. And then they lose to Houston. Because I just don't see them against another top talent team being able to grit their way to a win in probably a close game. I think they can out-talent their way over some mid-majors, and then it'll be an early second-round exit, or second weekend exit, I should say.
I have Duke winning in the first round and then actually beating JMU in the second round. I have JMU upsetting Wisconsin, but still losing to Houston in the Sweet 16.
State, I have them beating Texas Tech. I think the hot hand, and then I have them losing to Kentucky.
Likewise.
Which is as much about Kentucky as it is NC State. I think Kentucky has two pretty darn stud, including Reed Shepherd, who has kind of come out of nowhere to be a lighted up scorer. So I just think there's a level there that is going to prove itself. But hey, winning a game in the NCAA tournament for NC State based on where they were a week and a half ago, I don't even think you should be upset. I don't think that's very much a smile because it happened, not cry because it's over style run.
I agree.
What was it about Kansas that made you put? Now I'm so upset. I thought Kansas was going to be my if Kansas looks good, I'm going to look like a genius because no one else is going to pick it. It's a 4 seed that I have in the Final Four, which actually happens more rare than you think. What are you seeing from Kansas?
A big part of it for me was I don't trust Purdue, especially since they got knocked out in the first round last year, and I didn't think they looked that great losing to Wisconsin in the Big Ten tournament. So yeah, it's more or less I don't have confidence in Purdue from what I've seen from Purdue.
What about Creighton? What about Texas?
I have Creighton,
Tennessee?
I have Creighton going all the way to the Elite Eight.
Gosh, darn it!
What?
I have Creighton.
Did you copy my brackets?
I swear to you,
sitting on my cubicle all day.
I didn't even know you posted. Oh, I definitely didn't look at it on your office. I have there are teams I have sweet spots for. Creighton is one of them. I used to cover them when I was in Nebraska. I like the way McDermott coaches. So actually, I'll tell you this. I am notoriously reactive in these situations.
Mm-hmm.
I watched last night, and I saw what I believed was UVA hasn't, and I know it's going back on something I said yesterday, but it was pounded into my brain. UVA hasn't won a game since 2018 in the NCAA tournament, aside from they won 5 or 6, whatever it was, to win the national championship.
Yeah. Other
than that, they've lost every single NCAA tournament game they've had in the last 7 years. So I was like, you know what? Maybe Tony Bennett's style just doesn't add up to NCAA success. Reactionary. I know it is. He has a national championship. How in the world can I sit here and say his style doesn't add up to NCAA tournament success? But when I filled out my bracket today, I did catch myself looking for coaches that have done it before. I did catch myself looking for teams that have been in Final Fours recently. Mm-hmm. I did catch myself looking for teams that have been on runs. And I think Bill Self is one of those guys that, maybe he flubbed some lines outside of basketball for a while there, and maybe the NCAA had some investigations. Yeah. But once the whistles start, he's a very good in-game coach. So I kind of leaned in that direction.
Gaseous Clay on YouTube Live on the comment section says, Kansas does not survive the first weekend. Which, you know what? If that happens, wouldn't be shocked either. Because nothing surprises me in the NCAA tournament now.
No, but I'd be shocked if they lose to Samford. Let's be real. It's a 4 versus 13.
Yeah.
And then Gonzaga had a down year this year.
I have McNeese State beating Gonzaga.
Well, okay, I don't have that, but I'm not super surprised by that. 12 versus 5 is always a popular upset.
Oh yeah.
And the Zags had a down year. We'll break it down a few more times throughout the day, but just know that I guess Dennis and I have talked so much about sports that our minds are melding.
Clearly.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. I'm Tim Donnelly for DraftKings Sportsbook. The wait is over. DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of NASCAR, is now live in North Carolina. You can legally bet on all your favorite sports anytime, anywhere, right here in North Carolina with DraftKings. And for a limited time, new customers who sign up with promo code TIMD, T-I-M-D, with no spaces, and bet $5. Once you bet $5, instantly you will receive $250 in bonus bets. Timing is everything, right? When you can bet on college basketball and you can get $250 instantly in bonus bets in your account today, timing is everything. What in the world could you use those bonus bets for? I'll let you answer that one. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now using code TIMD with no spaces and bet $5 to get $250 instantly in bonus bets only on DraftKings Sportsbook with code TIMD. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 877-185-543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov. 21 plus, North Carolina only. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. Deposit and eligibility restrictions apply. Terms at DraftKings.com/sportsbook/NC. NASCAR is not a sponsor of this promotion and used under license. We'll take a break. When we come back, the Canes stay hot against the Islanders last night. What does that mean for their playoff perspective? Stick around.
Wow! Check out all the great deals right now on brand new 2024 vehicles at John Heister Chevrolet. Like $3,000 off a Malibu RS or $4,000 off the Silverado 2500 High Country. With a 2010 or newer Chevrolet trade-in, you can get your hands on an Equinox LT for up to $5,500 off, a Blazer RS up to $7,000 off, or a Silverado RST or 1500 Custom for up to $9,000 off. Get off your keister and get to John Heister Chevrolet in Fuquay Varina. Together, let's drive.
Imagine waking up this time next week and being 100% debt-free. No credit cards, no car loan, no personal loan. Hey, it's Dennis Cox. Loan Pronto's Equity Express line of credit can make it happen. Homeowners are turning their home equity into cash almost instantly. With Loan Pronto's AI-based system, you can get approval in about 10 minutes. With almost no documentation, no appraisal, and no hassle, you can get hundreds of thousands of dollars out of your home. Use that money to pay off all your other loans. The average homeowner saves over $850 a month doing this. Listen, your home value is way up. You can use that to wipe out all those credit cards, get some money for a home improvement. Literally hundreds of thousands are at your fingertips, and approval is just minutes away. Call 919-381-1760, 919-381-1760, loanpronto.com, 919-381-1760, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval, equal housing lender.
What? New scratch-offs are out? That means new chances to become a North Carolina Education Lottery Winners Club member.
Yeah, in the Winners Club, I'll reinvent myself. I won't go by just plain Todd. I'll go by Toddrick. I'll get a gold jacket, play my saxophone again. I'll stop and smell the flowers, call my mom more.
Ugh, wrap it up, Todd.
It's Toddrick.
This month's tickets pack $370 million in total prizes. The Winners Club awaits. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning range from 1 in 2.93 to 4.24. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
Adam Golden studio with my man Dallas Sproul from the Aluminum Company of North Carolina. We always talk about tons of stuff like roofing and siding, but I want to talk about my favorite drink at the Aluminum Company, the Easy Breeze. It just sounds very tropical.
Well, at the Aluminum Company, the Easy Breeze is a way to convert your screen porch into something that's more usable. Problem with screen porches is in the spring you get the pollen, and in the wintertime it's too cold, and you don't really get to use that screen porch as much as you'd like to.
You're talking to somebody that does a podcast from his screened-in porch, and it was only 20-some-odd degrees a few weeks ago.
You cut the heat on, you have one of those little box heaters out there, maybe grab you a cup of coffee and a blanket, and you set up, and that's a good day outside.
I had a cup of something. Dallas Sproul, the Aluminum Company of North Carolina, for the Easy Breeze and everything else for the exterior of your home. You can hit them up online, aluminumcompany.com.
The smarter way to clean your floors. It's time to make the swap. Swiffer Power Mop.
Introducing the new Swiffer Power Mop, the all-in-one tool that gives you a mop and bucket clean in half the time. The solution's built right in, so no heavy bucket, and the pad has hundreds of scrubbing strips to get deep into grout. Don't mop harder, mop smarter.
Swiffer Power Mop. Swiffer Power Mop.
The always ready for breakfast deal.
Going to bed already? Yep. Breakfast at Mickey D's tomorrow. So, sooner I go to bed, sooner it'll be morning. Sooner I'll be at Mickey D's. This is actually brilliant. You can come too. Turn out that light.
There's a deal for every breakfast strategist at McDonald's.
For a limited time, you can buy a bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit or sausage, egg, and cheese McGriddles for only $2.50. Price and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal.
Slavin across the ring to Gensel. Gensel and Aho with a trailing Jarvis. Let's see what they can do. Jarvis plays give and go with Gensel. Gensel back to Jarvis. What a gorgeous goal!
The vibe, strong. The drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. The Canes are playing like the best team in the NHL right now. There's numbers to back it up. You could just trust me on it. They're playing lights out. Since the trade deadline, they are playing lights out. As of right now, they're the second betting favorite to win the Stanley Cup. I think that might be changing in the near future. They've won 6 of 7 games since the All-Star break. 6 of 7 games since the All-Star break, excuse me. And in those 7 games...
You mean the trade deadline?
What did I say, All-Star break?
You said All-Star break.
Yeah, I meant trade deadline.
Yeah, we'll go with it.
Although it would be fun to take this team as they have it now and go back to the All-Star break and just run the rest, simulate it.
It would.
They've won 6 of 7 games since the trade deadline. And in those 7 games, they've outscored their opponents 31-12. That's absurd.
That includes a 1-0 loss to the Rangers.
Exactly. And the only loss, there's no such thing as moral victories. There's no such thing as good losses, although it's not the worst loss in the world. 1-0 to the Rangers. Let's hear from Jake Gensel, the new guy, on his impressions so far of his time in Carolina.
It's been unbelievable here. The guys have taken me in. It's been a whirlwind, but nice to kind of relax now and play some games, and you get to know people in the game environment. So it's been different for me, but it's been fun.
Do you know how I know things are going well? They're in the middle of a postseason push. They're chasing the Rangers, which doesn't seem as crazy as maybe it once did, right? The Rangers lost. They're winning a bunch of games. They are in the mix. They're trying to fine-tune everything, polish everything, and Gensel goes, yeah, it's nice to relax. It's nice to chill a little bit, right? It's nice to relax and play games. That's when you know things are going well. When you're like, yeah, the games, they're the relaxing part. There's 2 questions I have, okay? Based on everything we just said. They're playing extremely well. The new guys have fit in extremely well. Some of the guys that have been on the team all year are leveling up. We'll talk about one in specific a little bit later on in the show. Is there any concern about peaking too early is one of my questions, right? Because as nice as it is to be the team playing the best in March, you want to be the team playing the best in June. And secondly, in what ways could they still get better? And I think the answers to those 2 questions unite. What I mean by that is there are still ways they can get better, which might inherently say they are not peaking right now. There are ways they could get better. One of them might be getting healthy and or working the injured players once they are healthy back into the lineup. Jack Drury has not really been around for this run. Teuvo Teravainen's been out. If those 2 guys come back, that's something to work on. You never want to get to the point where you feel like you're a finished product, right? Because in sports in general, but darn sure in professional sports and darn sure in professional hockey, it's true, right? You're either getting better or you're getting worse. You're never staying still. You might be trying to hold on, right? You might be trying to, you see a team on the back end of a dynasty trying to just not lose enough, not fall off enough that you can still win, but you're getting better or you're getting worse. You're moving in a direction. If Jack Drury comes back and they work him in and get used to him and get used to where he likes to be with whatever line he's going to be on, they'll be getting better. If Teuvo Teravainen comes back and they're getting used to him, getting him involved, and maybe improving the power play a little bit, which could still use some fine-tuning, that is an opportunity for them to get better. This is not a situation where they're going to be resting their starters down the stretch, going the NBA way, which is, we're not going to play them because we like the 2, the 3, or the 4 seed, and we don't really care which one we get. This is one where the Rangers are in striking distance. There's still obvious things they have to work on, and that is one of the better spots you can be for a team playing this well. Right? You want obvious answers when it's like, hey, what are these next 3 weeks about? You don't want it to be, well, I don't know. We're pretty good.
Let's just go play some games and call it a day.
No, you want it to be, we can still get used to Gensel and Kuzi. We can still get a little bit healthier. We can still, Dennis asked this question earlier in the day, and I hadn't even thought of it. Do you find a place to start Spencer Martin for a game or two? And then that's a whole other kind of fresh and new feeling for that game.
Yeah, they play tomorrow, they play Friday, and they play Sunday. I mean, you've had a lot of games over the last few days. I know you're working Freddie Anderson in, and you have that nice rotation with Pyotr Kochetkov. Why not give Spencer Martin just a day? He's backed up several games, but why not just give him maybe Friday on the second day of a back-to-back third game in 4 days? You got to play again on Sunday. Why not give him a game in there? Be that fresh guy.
Just signed a 1 year, $775,000 extension for next year. Make him earn it.
Yeah.
Hey, go get your money, Spence.
You are one bad moment away from him being your number 2 goaltender, and then another bad moment away from him being the guy. Like that's so many. Here's the thing.
Don't put that evil on me, Ricky
I'm
Bobby.
not trying to put it, but it's a realistic situation that you are in. It doesn't hurt to give the guy some reps at this time of year. Not saying he's got to start 3 out of 5 games. Just give him a game.
Here's what it all comes down to, right? The Canes are playing really darn well, which is going to open you up to worry about things that you didn't worry about before because they were just low on the priority list, right? A month ago, 2 months ago, heck, in the first month of the season, if I would have come to you with I would like to get a little bit more production out of Teuvo Teravainen when he comes back healthy, you would have looked at me like, what? We need production from anybody, right, in that first month of the season. Or a month ago, 2 months ago, you would have said, you're goalie. Are you kidding me right now? We're about to have to start Spencer Martin, who we picked up off waivers like a week ago. You're worried about a third line being slightly more efficient. But guess what? Now that things are going well, you can start looking at those, all the way down the line. Right? I use house restoration as an analogy all the time. When you first buy the house, it's like, we got to make sure the foundation is stable. Right? When you first buy the house, it's like, I absolutely hate the kitchen. After you've lived in it for 4 or 5 years, you've knocked off all the big rehabilitation projects. Guess what? It's like, you know what? I want new cabinet hardware, right? You know what? I want to put a basketball hoop in the driveway, right? You can start looking at the stuff that would have been foolish to look at earlier because things are going well and the house looks nice. Things are going well. The Canes look nice. Start to worry about the details now because details could be the difference between advancing in the postseason and falling ever so close yet again. But that's a good thing. It is a very, very good thing. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan.
Hey, Dennis Cox here for my friends over at the Law Tigers. The Law Tigers, Tobacco Road Harley-Davidson, Shiny Side Paint, and your Carolina Hurricanes, they're all teaming up together to give the ultimate Canes fan a custom Hurricanes 2023 Harley-Davidson Softail motorcycle. By the way, just found out today over 30,000 people have signed up to get this motorcycle, to try and win this thing. Over 30,000 people have. And if you haven't done it yet, you better do it because you really only got a couple of weeks. The bike's going to be given away on the ice on April 5th. Enter today. Do it now. Don't wait any longer. Go to caniacsbike.com. That's caniacsbike.com for your chance to win this custom-painted beauty of a motorcycle. There's a pro hockey team in the state of Texas that is trying to do a similar type thing. Their bike's not custom-painted because the Carolina Hurricanes, they're doing this thing right. And you as a Canes fan, show that support by going to caniacsbike.com for your chance to win the 3rd annual Caniacs Bike. Law Tigers, North Carolina's motorcycle lawyers. Law Tigers is a network of independent law firms who are members of the American Association of Motorcycle Injury Lawyers. Law Tigers is not a law firm.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan, gets to our end of the regular season and conference tournament cons and cons. We look at the 4 ACC basketball teams in the state of North Carolina that just wrapped up the ACC tournament, and we ask, what are you most confident in? What are you most concerned about for each of the 4 teams coming up next?
At Bet365, they don't do ordinary. They believe that every sport should be epic. Every point, every game, every layup, every play. From the moments that are legendary to the ones that fly under the radar. See for yourself when you sign up today, and you'll get $200 in bonus bets when you bet just $5. Whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary. At Bet365, official partner of the Charlotte Hornets. 21 plus only. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov. Terms and conditions apply.
How a busy baker beat back foot pain. Meet Sanja.
Brownies, cupcakes, cookies. I love to bake. There have been times when I've been on my feet for at least 12 hours.
And that's how things went from sweet to sour.
I had excruciating pain in both feet to a point where I had to limp out of the kitchen.
So she called up a former foot pain sufferer, her big sister.
She told me, you need to go to the Good Feet store and get some arch supports.
Smart lady.
It was an awesome experience. Scott took great care of my feet.
He's the arch support specialist who fitted her.
He was very patient, very knowledgeable. Scott was the man.
Now Sanja can have her cake and bake it too.
Oh yeah, my feet are very happy now.
You're gonna have to make some cookies for Scott.
I've already done that.
Of course you did.
The Good Feet store is in Chapel Hill near Whole Foods, in Fayetteville in the Freedom Town Center, and in Raleigh in the Midtown East Shopping Center. Book your appointment today at goodfeet.com. The Good Feet store.
Starting March 18th for 3 days only, shop limited-time doorbusters during Lowe's MVP's bonus days. Buy 1 Metabo HPT 15-degree roofing nailer. Get 1 box of Metabo HPT 1 1/4-inch collated roofing nails free, a $49.98 value. Plus, save $39 on a Little Giant A-Force 6-foot 300-pound step ladder. Shop these deals and more while supplies last. Lowe's knows pros. Valid 3/18 through 3/20. Selection varies by location.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same, but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online? Go to hims.com/joy. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, and the process is 100% online. To start your free online visit, go to hims.com/joy. That's HIMS.com/JOY.
Hey y'all, Dylan at Oak City Customs here. With spring upon us and summer right around the corner, it's time to enjoy your backyard or outdoor entertainment space. At Oak City Customs, we offer a wide variety of items for outdoor living, including pergolas, shade sails, fire pits, and outdoor bar areas. In addition to dining room tables and other items for the inside of your home, we would love to make your vision for your outdoor space a reality this season. Come visit us at our showroom in Zebulon or check us out at oakcitycustoms.com.
This is The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. There's something special about March Madness. I just saw this online during the commercial break. So we have cons and cons coming up. We're going to look at teams and what we're most confident in, what we're most concerned about. Sometimes it is, you have to remind yourself that college basketball is still, it has charm to it that professional sports don't. Did you see that this, I think it's Indiana State, maybe? Indiana something? Indiana State.
Yeah.
So they're in the NIT, okay? Which, I mean, NIT has been so downgraded that some teams preemptively turn down the invitation. Some of you may be a fan of one of those teams.
Yeah.
May have happened as recently as last year right here in the Triangle.
Yep.
Indiana State, apparently during the NIT, you get one manager who you're allowed to have sit on the bench.
Okay.
Everyone else has to sit behind the bench. Now, if this were professional sports, guess what would happen? The head coach would probably either go by seniority or they would do some kind of decision-making process based on merit, and that manager would get to sit on the bench, right? They help us the most. They're most necessary. Indiana State ran the Manager Olympics. They had them dribbling basketballs up and down the court. They had
Nice.
one of those brooms that you like dry off get the dust off the court, and they had them running up and down. They did the Manager Olympics to figure out which manager gets to sit on the bench. It's the charm of college basketball that is part of the secret sauce. I don't care if the players get paid or not. It'll still be college basketball as long as they're still having Manager Olympics, right? As long as they're still singing the fight song, as long as it's still college basketball. Yeah, they might get paid. Yeah, sure, they can transfer, but there's something special about it, and I'm reminded of it every single March. Every single March. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Let's get to Cons and Cons.
Love guarded by. Nope, that's the wrong one.
But to play great
There it
defense,
is.
you need one thing above all else.
Played the open.
It starts with a W. Confidence.
Confidence, Cons and Cons. What are you most confident in? What are you most concerned about? Today we start with Wake Forest. I'll get it started. Nothing changes. My concern is their consistency.
Mm-hmm.
Because here's most teams going into the offseason, and they're in the NIT, by the way, but they are not in the NCAA tournament. They did not win the ACC championship. Most teams going into the offseason, I'm like, hey, they need a defensive big. Hey, maybe one of their recruiters can provide one of their recruits can provide the shooting they need, or they need to upend their entire backcourt. I don't have anything like that for Wake. I don't. We've been saying all season how they're pretty darn good on paper. How they have everything they need on paper. So I'm just saying, I don't know, can you learn consistency over an off season? That's my concern. Their consistency, because for large portions of the year, it was up and down and up and down and up and down and up and down. The golfer that goes birdie, triple, birdie, quad, par, lost a ball, picked it up, birdie, broke his club. It's just up and down and up and down and up and down. What are you concerned about for Wake Forest?
I'm concerned about for them having failed to miss the NCAA tournament, knowing they were probably good enough to be in it as a team. What's your
having
mindset?
Missed the NCAA
having missed the NCAA tournament, knowing you're good enough to be there. What's your mindset? You're kind of like, hey, you know what? I'm over it. Kind of want to be done with this. Or you'd be like, hey, you know what? We still get a chance to go play. Let's go play and compete, and let's go win something here. That's my concern, really. It's honestly with any of these teams that are on the bubble, especially because, like you mentioned earlier, we saw Pitt, St. John, some of these other schools that were on the bubble making the NCAA tournament were like, no, we're not going to do the NIT.
This is a challenge for Steve Forbes, and here's what I mean by that. There's two ways that this can be framed, and you just have to make sure your team frames it the right way. Either it's this year we had unfinished business, right? And the NIT and the offseason is all the beginning of next year where we're going to avenge our mistakes and avenge these losses, and we're going to come back a different team. Or you're going to look at it like, what a failure this year was. I'm so disappointed. Heck, maybe the transfer portal will rob you of some players because they just want to get the heck out of town. There is a bit of all, framing, right? It's spin zone. It's you need a good publicist to convince your team how to see things. Because if you do frame it as unfinished business and everybody's returning and give me a commitment right now, we're going to work harder this offseason, we're going to learn more about ourselves this offseason, we're going to come back better than ever next year, I think this Wake Forest team can do some things. And it might start with this little dance, right? This NIT. What am I most confident in? The fact that just about everybody has remaining eligibility.
Okay.
So the checking out might be a little different, right? Everybody still has something to play for. There's not my senior year was a failure. It might be, this year wasn't good, but next year, right? That the remaining eligibility could be something that buoys them. What do you got, Dennis?
NIT games are played at home arenas. They're playing at the Joel tonight against App State. They're playing at home. How can I pick against Wake Forest at home? They only lost one time this season at home. It was late this season against Georgia Tech, but nonetheless, they've only lost one game at the Joel. To me, that's my confidence. It's carrying over to the postseason.
Let's get to Duke. My concern, surprise, toughness.
Okay.
Edge, grit, that thing in a competitor that kicks in when they get punched in the mouth. You learn something about yourself when that happens, and I don't think what Duke has learned about themselves in those games this year has been flattering. I think at times it's been harrowing. So my concern is their toughness. And that's not always paired with poor play. Okay? And what I mean by that is I've seen games where Kyle Filipowski had 28 and 14, and I was still going, he's getting outplayed. He was the best player on the court, building his NBA resume, and I'm going, he's getting outplayed. It's an eye test. It's a toughness thing. It's a confidence thing. Other teams know they can get to him. It's a whining thing. He whines after every missed shot because he's fouled, but he has to recognize that when you're 7'1", 7'2", and gigantic, you're just not going to get every call because you're gigantic and it feels weird to call a foul, even though maybe it was. It's the same concern I've had with them for a long time. Dennis?
My concern is actually still depth because we don't know what Caleb Foster, with his lower body injury that he's been dealing with over the last several weeks. After their starting five, there are question marks there in terms of what are you going to get production-wise from Sean Stewart. Yes, he had that big game coming off the bench at NC State at PNC Arena, but a lot of the reason for that, him playing, was because Kyle Filipowski, who you mentioned, was in foul trouble. So what are you going to get from a Sean Stewart? What are you going to get from TJ Power? Well, you got to win 2 games in 3 days. That depth, especially if Vermont gives you a run in game 1, that depth is going to get tested as the tournament goes along. So to me, that's my big concern. Once you get past Proctor, McCain, Roach, Filipowski, Mitchell, major question marks.
Mine is Caleb Foster might be back. We don't know, but a player like that can change vibes.
Is that your confidence?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's if he comes back, that almost mentally, and I'm not saying you want this necessarily, but it could be, the reason why bad thing happened is because Caleb was out. Caleb's back, right? It kind of gives you that refresh, gives you that new lease on life. And then I'll add in this as a side confidence. They're talented.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a reason why the recruiting rankings were what the recruiting rankings were. There's a reason why we were so excited for all their starters returning. And there's a reason why they're, a couple of them are on NBA first-round mock drafts. They are talented. So even without toughness, they can out-talent some teams.
My confidence is actually they have someone that no one else really has. That's Kyle Filipowski, a legit 7-footer who can go in the post, who can stretch the floor. There's a reason why that guy's going to be a lottery pick in the NBA. To me, it's you have the X factor. You have something that most teams in college basketball do not have.
I remember looking back, this might not have been the right way to think. But when the big three Heat got together, LeBron, Wade, and Bosh, people forget. Up to that point, LeBron was the guy that couldn't win the big one, right? He hadn't won a championship yet. Everybody wanted him to want the ball in the clutch like Kobe and Jordan. And I kind of thought it was perfect because I was like, this is great. LeBron will take everything but the final 2 minutes, and then Dwayne Wade will take over for the final 2 minutes. It's like, it's perfect here. I think Filipowski needs the Dwayne Wade role there, right? Where he's like, listen, I'll give you 30 and 15, right? I'll give you everything except the final 2 minutes. Then I need somebody else's killer instinct to take us the last little bit, the last 4 minutes, say. So whether that's McCain, whether that's Roach, whoever, I think somebody else has to grab the ball from him and go, thank you for bringing us this far. I'll take it from here. The Shaq and Kobe, right? Shaq would give you 35 and 12, 35 and 13. And then when free throw time, killer instinct time came around, he was like, where's Kobe? And Kobe would take it from there. I think they need a little bit of that. Not saying they are Shaq and Kobe. I'm talking about roles, not quality or ability. That's Wake Forest and Duke Cons and Cons. We still need to tell you what we're most confident and concerned about when it comes to North Carolina and NC State. That's after the break.
Hey, Dennis Cox here for my friends over at Capital Buy Sell Trade. They're located on Glenwood Avenue right here in Raleigh. Swing on through there. If you're looking to, spring's officially underway today, by the way. If you're looking to upgrade your wardrobe for springtime, for summer, look no further than Capital BST. Not only do they have sneakers, it's the largest sneaker store in the state of North Carolina. Not only do they have shoes, but they got vintage clothing, streetwear, accessories, all different kinds of stuff for you to upgrade your wardrobe, upgrade your feel. And also, you're thinking about, all the games that you're watching over the next few weeks, rooting on your favorite school. They actually have some university player exclusive shoes that are on sale as well. That, hey, you know what? Only the athletes are supposed to get them. Well, Capital Buy Sell Trade has some of those pairs that you can check out for yourself. Capital Buy Sell Trade. Follow them on Instagram at CapitalBST919. When you swing through there, let them know Dennis sent you.
We'll be back with more of The Drive. As I said, Cons and Cons continues after this.
Hello, I'm John Heister for the Heister Automotive Group. And we're constantly looking for ways to serve you better. One of the ways we do that is with something we call a Go-See. And that's where you select a vehicle from our inventory, and we have thousands, and we get one of our product specialists to bring that vehicle to you at your convenience. How do we do that? Well, it's simple. We have a group of employees that are evaluated based on the number of presentations they do. They're glad to do it. So it's just one more way we get off our keister and bring Heister to you.
It's bow time.
Finally, lunchtime. I'm starving.
What's that?
This is the Bojangler from Bojangles.
With the same bold flavor as their chicken?
The same.
And fries.
The same.
Huh. Well, I've got a PB&J.
Yeah, that's not the same.
A crispy fish fillet dusted in Bo's famous seasoning. With cheese and tartar sauce on a fluffy bun, the Bojangler's back. Hook one while you can. It's bow time.
There's no time like Bojangler time. Time to stop whatever you're doing and head over to Bojangles to try the Bojangler Fish Fillet Sandwich. You heard right, the Bojangler Fish Fillet Sandwich. A perfectly seasoned, light, flaky, wild-caught Alaskan pollock fish fillet sandwich. For limited time at participating Bojangles. Make it a combo and add Bojangles seasoned fries and legendary iced tea. Hungry for Bojangles but in the mood for something different? Then it's Bojangler time.
What? New scratch-offs are out? That means new chances to become a North Carolina Education Lottery Winners Club member.
Yeah, in the Winners Club, I'll reinvent myself. I won't go by just plain Todd. I'll go by Toddrick. I'll get a gold jacket, play my saxophone again. I'll stop and smell the flowers, call my mom more.
Ugh, wrap it up, Todd.
It's Toddrick.
This month's tickets pack $370 million in total prizes. The Winners Club awaits. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds or winning range from 1 in 2.93 to 4.24. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
The Dugout Tavern and Grill, #1 sports bar in Apex and your March Hoops headquarters.
Hey, Tim Donnelly here to tell you about my friends at Window Nation. It's March and the weather is changing, which might mean you might be, right? Just I'm saying maybe. I don't know your window situation. You need to get Window Nation out there to do an evaluation for me to have all the details. But I'll tell you, there's a good chance you're throwing money straight through your windows, right? Energy costs going through the roof because your windows are not sealed correctly. They're maybe not insulated correctly, or maybe they're just windows that were put in by a builder who was trying to cut costs. If you're frustrated by higher and higher heating bills, you want to listen up. Right now, Window Nation has a buy 2 windows, get 2 free deal going on. Plus, 0 down, 0 interest, and no payments for 24 months. And as I said, they'll come out to your house. They'll put on demonstrations. They'll evaluate your windows and give you an honest opinion on what you're working with. I can tell you from personal experience. They come out, they'll be honest. Hey, this is where you're losing energy costs. But this window over here, right, the windows in the bedroom look pretty good. Who says that that's trying to sell you something? Window Nation does, because they're honest. Get a free, no-obligation quote now. It's easy. Call 866-90-NATION. That's 866-90-NATION. Or visit windownation.com to schedule. And I do ask that you make sure they know that you heard about it right here on 99.9 The Fan. We'd greatly appreciate it. Support those that are supporting the show. 99.9 The Fan. Let them know you heard about it right here on The Drive. 866-90-NATION or visit windownation.com to schedule. Now we have Cons and Cons coming up right here on The Drive.
But to play great defense, you need one thing above all else.
That starts with a W.
Confidence.
Confidence and concerns. What are you most confident in? What are you most concerned about? We'll start with, in this segment, the University of North Carolina. My concern, I want to be clear, nitpicking, right? UNC has looked very good. They did lose in the ACC championship game, which led to my concern that I'm about to give you. But other than that, I have them in my Final Four. I think they're playing very well. I think they have a chance at a national championship. My concern is what happens when Cormac Ryan doesn't stay hot. That was the biggest difference in the ACC championship for me, was Cormac Ryan wasn't taking a bunch of shots, and the one he was taking, he wasn't hitting a high percentage of those shots, and kind of the whole team looked different. So, over the month and a half that you need to win games in the NCAA tournament to win the whole thing, can he get it done, right? Can he stay hot? Can he make enough threes to keep the team looking like how they want to look? And if not, who picks up that slack? Is it Seth Trimble knocking down jumpers? Is it Elliot Cadeau shooting from outside, which has been a Achilles heel of his? We know R.J. Davis is going to do what R.J. Davis does. We know what Armando Bacot can do. Maybe Harrison Ingram, if he sees maybe a streaky Cormac Ryan on the wrong side of a streak, takes a few more threes. I don't know what it is, but I'm concerned about what that team looks like if Cormac Ryan doesn't stay hot shooting the basketball. Dennis, what are you concerned about for the Tar Heels?
The streakiness of Cormac Ryan. Because actually we've seen this through different parts of throughout the entire season, where he would be hot, where he would go like 4 of 7, then have a 2 for 5 game, then a 3 of 6. And then we'll see a 1 of 6, a 1 of 5, maybe even like an 0 for 3. So we've seen the streakiness up and down. The last 2 games of the ACC tournament, I think it was 1 for 6 and 1 for 5, respectively, in those 2 games. But nonetheless, we've seen the streakiness, but we also know that he can be hot. So that, again, it's a nitpick type thing. Is Cormac Ryan going to stay hot? It's hard to ask a three-point shooter to be like, hey, shoot at 40% every single day in college basketball. But nonetheless, he still needs to. If he takes 8, he needs to hit 3. Like, he needs to be in that 37-38% range on a consistent basis.
I don't think any of us are expecting 31 in Cameron Indoor every game. But you're right. You need to keep him honest. You need to keep the spacing. You need to let everybody else build off it. My confidence is R.J. Davis.
Okay.
ACC Player of the Year, All-American, really good. Did his thing in the ACC championship game. For as streaky as maybe the others have been, he's pretty darn consistent. And it's really comforting as a basketball team to just know you've got that one dude that's going to be there, rain or shine, like the mailman, right? Rain, sleet, snow, or hail, something. R.J. Davis won't fail. I don't know what it was. But I just think it's very comforting for that team to know they have at least one stud who they can depend on throughout the run. Give me R.J. Davis.
My confidence when it comes to North Carolina, it's their ability to turn defense into offense. Transition defense. Transition defense to offense for me is really where UNC really makes their hay. Because we've seen multiple times throughout the season when they're playing their best, when they're getting stops on defense, not giving up second chance rebound opportunities, and they're pushing the ball off the floor. When they're crossing midcourt, when the shot clock is at like 27, 28 seconds, that's when we're seeing them most effective. When defenses can't really set up, Elliot Cadeau, we know he can get to the rim easily, but it's his passing ability that allows guys like Ingram or Ryan or R.J. Davis to have transition three-point opportunities, or Bacot running the floor. To me, it's when they turn defense into offense. When they're playing that way, they are at their best.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. It's time to transition to the team of the hour. Team of the ACC tournament, at least. NC State. Concern. I'm going to say both of mine consecutively because they're paired. It's like peanut butter and jelly. There's a yin and a yang to it. My concern is everything before the ACC tournament run. My confidence is the ACC tournament run. We know both of those teams exist within you, right? What do they say? Every person has two wolves that live within them. One that wants them to be their best self and is motivating and is a hard worker. The other is lazy and bored and whines. Which one takes over? The one you feed. So we know that NC State has the team that lost their last 4 regular season games, the team that consistently underperformed in the regular season, living within them. They also have this team that dominated the ACC tournament, that beat multiple top 15 teams in the country, that ran through the 1, the 2, and the 3 seed, 5 games in 5 days. That Wolf also lives within them. Which one is going to dominate in the NCAA tournament becomes the question. Now, the reason why this could also be my confidence is we didn't know that Wolf lived within him until recently.
Yeah.
We didn't know. We had an idea. You may have thought all the parts were there, right? They had the talent. We hadn't seen them put it all together yet. So now we know they can put it all together. But don't let that overwhelm you. Don't let that take over and not realize that we also know that other thing lives within them, right? The underwhelming regular season team. So my confidence is we now know they can put it together. My concern is we've seen them not put it together.
Yeah.
Both are true. Both are factual. Both make it wildly entertaining for what they're going to do in the NCAA tournament.
All right, my concern, I'll start there. My concern when it comes to NC State is kind of health right now. We saw Taylor deal with an ankle injury going into the ACC championship game. We know that the hip flexor injury for DJ Horn, he had to play 4 straight days on that hip flexor. Didn't even play in the opening round game on Tuesday against Louisville. We know Casey Morcell dealing with a little bit of a groin issue. We don't know what the full extent of those things are. It's just how much steam is still left there in the tank. How much gas is still left there. Like, that's just a concern, with this team right now. I mean, like you said, they put it together, but they got some nagging injuries that could impact them in the tournament.
I thought about putting that in there. I also wonder how much of those injuries were just pure exhaustion.
There's also that, too.
Like, if you play 5 games in 5 days and you get a bruise, you're like limping, and you're like, goodness gracious. You play 1 game in a week and you get a bruise, you're like, I feel fine.
Yeah.
It's sometimes like your level of exhaustion magnifies the pain a little bit, which I just don't. We don't know, right? There's no way to know. We're not living in their brains. We can't feel how much they're feeling.
All right, my confidence when it comes to NC State, I think that because DJ Burns is going to draw so much attention because he's so unique as a player. And Texas Tech has never seen a guy like DJ Burns. It's amazing. A lot of people look at college basketball, they saw NC State play like, who is that guy? Like, who's this big fella up here with the soft touch and everything around the rim? I think because he's going to draw so much attention defensively from Texas Tech that other things are just going to open up on the floor for whether it's DJ Horn, Taylor, O'Connell, even Morcell. These other guys on the perimeter are going to have more scoring opportunities. And if they double DJ Burns quick, his passing ability will allow guys to cut to the rim as well. I think he's going to draw so much attention from Texas Tech that it's going to open things up on the floor for NC State. The other guys on the perimeter.
Do you know what would be my attitude towards DJ Burns if I'm Kevin Keats?
What's that?
You just played 28 minutes, 24 minutes, 26 minutes, 24 minutes on 4 straight days.
Mm-hmm.
Now I know you can. I'm playing you 28 minutes knowing we got an off day tomorrow no matter what, right? It's like if you can play 26, 24, 28 on back-to-back-to-back nights, you can play 30, off day, 30. Like
and then if you win, get 4 days off.
And then 4 days minimum. We're okay with it now.
And I think something that we saw in the ACC tournament, I think it's probably, again, out of necessity of just how many games they had to play. We actually, for the first time, saw truly defined roles for guys on the team.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's been a gripe for us when at NC State this whole season. Like, what is the rotation going to be? Like, guys one day will play 30 minutes and the next game they play 11. It's not because of foul trouble. It's just, how the game worked out. But it seemed like in the ACC tournament, guys knew exactly what the roles needed to be and what they did. And it was, It worked. It worked.
I want to see, and I don't know if he did this every game, and I just, for the first time, noticed it. I want to see DJ Burns' teeth. When he was putting his shoulder into Armando Bacot or Withers or whoever was guarding him against UNC, it was gritty. It was primal. And I don't know if we had seen that a bunch. He still did the moves and he still had the footwork and he still did all of that. But I want to see him. Something tells me it's more fearful coming from 6'8", 6'9", 300-plus pounds than it is from old washed-up radio host.
We'll see it late tomorrow night.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Hey, Nightdale and everybody in the surrounding areas, we proudly invite you to a brand new Academy Sports and Outdoor store that is now open. It opened on Monday at 216 Hinton Oaks Boulevard, and with that comes a plan for some awesome, big-time, free stuff giveaways, but high energy grand opening events this weekend. Grand opening fun starting this Friday, going through Sunday. The deals and giveaways will be going on all weekend. The first 150 customers in line when the store opens both Friday, Saturday, and Sunday that are 18 and over get a free mystery gift card with over $15,000 in total weekend prizes. So first 150 customers in line get the gift cards, the mystery gift cards. You can shop grand opening deals on the best brands in sports and outdoors gear. Plus, there'll be a in-store treasure hunt, which could lead to another free gift. And also right now, if you want a $25 Academy Sports gift card, text SPORTS, SPORTS, to 919-860-5326. Text SPORTS to 919-860-5326. Click on the link, enter, and you will be entered to win a $25 Academy Sports gift card. Text SPORTS to 919-860-5326. Fill out the link, and you'll be entered to win. Back with more of The Drive. Football at 4, including a national media personality that has it all wrong about Bryce Young. Stick around.
There's no bigger way to show off your fandom than with your sneakers. Head to Capital Buy Sell Trade, the largest sneaker store in the state of North Carolina, located on Glenwood Avenue right here in Raleigh. Capital Buy Sell Trade. Follow them on Instagram at CapitalBST919. Sneakers, vintage streetwear, Capital BST.
Hey, what do you say? John Forsland here for my friends at Buffalo Brothers. What a great time for sports. The College Hoops Tournament in hockey is in the home stretch. I call games in Seattle and around the country, but when I'm back in the Triangle, I head right to Buffalo Brothers. Make sure you visit Buffalo Brothers for all the big games. Always great specials, like half-price appetizers Monday through Friday, 4:30 to 6. Dine in, carry out at all 5 Triangle locations and online at buffbrothers.com. Aw, man, now I want wings.
Hey, guys, sound familiar? Your energy's not the same. The weight's starting to creep up. You're a little forgetful. And to make matters worse, you're not sleeping well. Well, it could be low T, but you shouldn't go one more day dealing with these symptoms. Help is available at QC Kinetics. They'll help diagnose the issue and get you back to feeling like yourself again. QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in regenerative medicine. They use biologic treatments, encouraging your body to optimize the hormone levels you need to boost stamina, provide more mental clarity, and improve your metabolism. It starts with a complimentary consultation and comprehensive exam. One quick office visit, and you'll have next steps to swing those hormone levels back into balance. All using the protocols QC Kinetics is known for around the country. Most importantly, you'll be back to yourself, and that's important. So call right now for your complimentary consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 919-400-5473. That's 919-400-5473. Located in Raleigh, 919-400-5473.
You call that a precision stop?
When a rookie stunt driver,
Just give me a shot,
meets the trainer who thought he'd seen it all,
Come on, focus.
they'll soon find out that behind the wheel of the Nissan Rogue, with the power of VC turbo and the most fuel-efficient gas-powered engine in its class,
Watch this.
the protege can become a master. But this is no ordinary blockbuster. It's a Nissan sales event ad.
Level up your drive with 1.9% APR financing for 60 months on the 2023 Nissan Rogue. Shop the Nissan sales event. Visit your local Nissan store and nissanusa.com today. Auto Pacific segmentation excluding hybrids and electric vehicles. 2024 EPA fuel economy estimates from 28 city 34 highway to 30 city 37 highway for 2024 Nissan Rogue. Actual mileage may vary. For well-qualified buyers, 1.9% APR financing for 60 months on new 2023 Rogue and dealer stock. Example, 60 months financing at $1,748 per month per thousand financed. Actual down payment may vary. Subject to residency restrictions and in-MAC credit approval. Not all buyers qualify. Dealer contribution may affect actual price set by dealer. Contact dealer for details. Ends 4/1/24.
Tim Donnelly here for DraftKings Sportsbook. The wait is over. DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of NASCAR, is is now live in North Carolina. Now you can legally bet on all your favorite sports anytime, anywhere, right here in North Carolina with DraftKings. For a limited time, new customers who sign up with promo code TIMD, that's TIMD with no spaces, and bet $5 will receive $250 instantly in bonus bets. DraftKings has the best features, including same-game parlays, player props, and more, with fast and easy payouts right at your fingertips. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now using code TIMD and bet $5 to get $250 instantly in bonus bets. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook with code TIMD. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 877-185-543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov. 21 plus, North Carolina only. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. Deposit and eligibility restrictions apply. Terms at DraftKings.com/sportsbook/NC. NASCAR is not a sponsor of this promotion and used under license.
This hour on the Triangle Sports Leader is brought to you by the Ritchie Law Firm Injury Lawyers.
You can feel the madness!
Go to GotBrian.com. That's GotBrian.com.
WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. Take us with you on radio, web, app, Alexa, and YouTube. 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
I'm WRAL meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner. A pretty afternoon out there. Lots of sunshine, a high of 72, but it is a bit breezy. Some gusts up to 20-25 miles per hour out of the southwest. That's what's bringing the warm temperatures in. Overnight tonight, we're cool with a low of 42 under clear skies, and the cool air sticks around tomorrow. We'll see a high of 61, but mostly sunny.
Weather update brought to you by Newcomb & Company, where your comfort is their business. Visit newcombandcompany.com. 4 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones is up 401 points to 39,512. Market update brought to you by NerdWallet. Don't make your future you hate you. Compare and find top credit cards, savings accounts, and more today with NerdWallet. NerdWallet, finance smarter. Ready to step into a healthy and active lifestyle? Come to the Good Feet store and experience the difference. Discover how a simple step can lead to a life of pain-free possibilities.
Let's move the chains. Time for Football at 4.
Football at 4 here on The Drive with Tim Donnelly on 99.9 The Fan. You can set your watch by it. You can set your walk by it, but that would just make some delicious food.
Might be taking an afternoon walk.
Oh, walk. Okay, I was going walk like W-O-K.
Okay.
Like we're making a rounded frying pan reference. Every once in a while, you hear a national media member talk about the team that you cover. Sometimes you go, you know what? They got to cover all 32 teams. It's tough. And then sometimes you're like, well, actually, that kind of goes against everything this team has been doing. And you might need to react to it. So Chris Canty hosts Unsportsmanlike every morning. I was going to say prior to this show. That's Adam Gold. Every morning here on 99.9 The Fan and in many markets across the country. And they had an interaction in which Bryce Young's name came up, obviously involving the Carolina Panthers. We have the audio for you. Here it is.
The Washington Commanders have more pressure to get it right because they don't get the benefit.
That's the wrong Chris Canty cut.
That was Chris. That was just an example of what Chris Canty sounds like. So you were aware, because the clip we're going to play, there's going to be Evan Cohen and there's going to be Chris Canty speaking at different times. So now you know which one is Chris Canty. They're both hosts of Unsportsmanlike. So as Dennis brings that up, just remember what Chris Canty's voice sounded like.
I will have it for you in just a moment.
All right, he will have it for us in just a moment. But basically, I'll give you the precursor. I'll set the table for you. They're talking about which quarterbacks are most likely to maybe be moved on from or to make their last start for their team this year. And you can guess which answer Chris Canty goes with, and then it's partially the reasoning, partially the answer that I have reactions to, which is ironic because I would actually call his reaction an overreaction, and then I'm going to react to it. We have it now for you. Here's Chris Canty on Unsportsmanlike.
Which one is most likely of that group to potentially be in their last dance this year, starting quarterback with their respective teams? Dak, Hurts, Young, Watson.
I'm probably going to go with Bryce Young because the Carolina Panthers aren't going to be very good, and we're seeing teams move off of quarterbacks quickly. Now, here's the thing. I don't want to crush Bryce Young because the Panthers did not set him up to succeed, But we've seen you've got an impetuous owner in David Tepper that doesn't have a lot of patience. He's fired 3 straight coaches in the middle of the season. I just think this is a situation now where the Carolina Panthers, if Bryce Young doesn't show and prove based on the investments that this team has made on the offense this offseason, particularly the offensive line, then I think there could be a world where the Panthers decide to move off of Bryce Young, especially if they have a top pick in 2025.
Man.
Here's the thing. It starts with investment. They traded away this year's first-round pick for Bryce Young. So pretend that they drafted Bryce Young with this year's first-round pick. They brought in a coach and a GM who were given the ultimatum, I'm sure, you better make it work with Bryce Young. 1 year is not enough to figure it out, and I think everybody knows that. Secondly, and here's where I think the context is being missed. Even if Bryce Young is absolutely atrocious, okay? I don't think it's going to happen, but crazier things have happened, right? Let's say he gets the yips, okay? And suddenly a 5-yard out looks like a 50-yard window shot, and he can't do it. He's hitting sideline members in the face with passes. You still have to stick with him another year. Do you know why? Because you hopefully learned your lesson, right? What did Chris Canty say in that very clip? He doesn't want to bash Bryce Young because they did not put him in a situation to succeed. So guess what? If Bryce Young doesn't succeed, they have to learn from Bryce Young not succeeding and take the time to put the proper structure in place before the next guy gets there. And to do that, you're going to have to eat some losses. To do that, you're going to have to play Bryce Young while you get your wide receivers in place, while you get your running game in place, while you get your defense in place. And then you can move on from Bryce Young. But if you move on from Bryce Young without having everything else settled, you're just going to get another Bryce Young situation where you have the quarterback and you're not ready for it yet. If Bryce Young flames the heck out, I think you have to take your medicine and play Bryce Young another year. And if Bryce Young shows I'm talking about any, point blank, any flashes of being a potential starting quarterback in the NFL this year, you give him the next year. It's the Trevor Lawrence thing, right? I don't want to put Frank Reich and Urban Meyer in the same category. Because Frank Reich seems like a nice guy that you genuinely want to root for. Urban Meyer once allegedly kicked a kicker. They're not the same. But you could put the rookie year of Trevor Lawrence and the rookie year of Bryce Young in a similar situation in which you say, let's just start over, right? Trevor Lawrence's rookie year was not a good rookie year by any stretch. But you look at it and you go, who is his number one wide receiver? Travis Etienne was hurt. The coach was a joke. It didn't work out. The coach didn't make it through the entire year, and it was his first year as a head coach in the NFL. And then you do, and you do, and you do, and then you go, all right, year 2 is his first year for Trevor Lawrence. Everything I just said could have been used for Bryce Young. Who did he have to throw to? Where was the running? The coach, he didn't even make it past the 11-week mark. And, let's just year 2 is year 1. Now, let me cover all the bases, right? And feel free to bring this clip up a year from now if you want to, right? Bookmark it, YouTube it, 99.9 The Fan on YouTube. Subscribe while you're there. Feel free. There is a world where Bryce Young is done before the end of this year, okay?
It's a real possibility.
If he absolutely stinks and the Panthers don't realize that they can learn from their mistakes and do better for the next guy, they could move on from him. There's 0% chance he's the most likely out of any group of unless you're talking about like, hey, we have Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes, Bryce Young. Which one's more likely to get benched? Then we know the answer. But if you put him with any host of quarterbacks in his same age bracket or near where he is in his career, he has job security by way of investment. right? There's sunk cost into moving on from Bryce Young that just don't exist for so many other quarterbacks. So many other quarterbacks. On the surface, yeah, they might not be very good. You dig down deeper, they might not have any choice. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. I'm Tim Donnelly, and I want to tell you about Fox and Bailey Watch Shop located inside Bailey's Fine Jewelry at their Village District location. Over the weekend, I got talking with a buddy about watches, and I realized part of the thing that I really like about watches, and you might, is the history of it. And there's no better place to find historic watches that mean something in history, than the Omega Boutique, the brand new Omega Boutique located inside Raleigh's Village District location of Bailey's Fine Jewelry. It opened in mid-February with a big old grand opening launch party that I attended. It's the second largest Omega Boutique of its kind in the entire country. But the historic element of it is the Speedmaster, at least one of them, right? The Seamaster is historic. They have the Constellation, the DeVille. Some of these have been worn on the wrists of some of the most famous and powerful people on the planet. But the Speedmaster has something that just about no other watch has. It's been worn on the moon. It's trusted in all environments. NASA issues that watch to the astronauts, so when they're out on spacewalks and they need to keep track of time when it's vital, the Speedmaster is the one they trust. It was launched in 1957. Its official space legacy started in 1965 when they qualified it for its piloted missions. It's known as the Moonwatch. Go check it out. It's at the Omega Boutique, Bailey's Fine Jewelry Village District location. You will not be disappointed. It comes with some gravitas. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We'll jump into Hit It and Quit It. The biggest sports stories lined up, knocked out. We're talking about high-priced wide receivers, transfer portal, NCAA tournament, and more coming up.
Get ready for spring at Westlake Ace with the best brands like Steel, Ego, Scotts, and more. Right now, select Steel products are up to $60 off. And don't forget, Ace Rewards members save money every season. This month, 20-pound bags of Ace Bird Seed are just $11. Visit our 2 new locations at the corner of Rogers Lane and New Bern Avenue, or on Leesville Road in Pinecrest Point. Westlake Ace Hardware now has 5 convenient locations in Raleigh.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks. We buy any car.
Why sell your car at WeBuyAnyCar.com? Because selling it yourself can be, well, you know.
Okay, I'll give you half now.
And?
No, and just half.
What? Avoid the hassle. Come to We Buy Any Car instead. Get in, get out, and get paid at a fair price.
Yeah, I can't do half. I could probably bump it up to like 50%.
Just go.
Okay.
Get your free online valuation now at
WeBuyAnyCar.com.
Hey friends, Paul Ihander for the team at FanDuel, and your wait is over, North Carolina. FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook, is officially live in North Carolina. Right now, new customers get $250 in bonus bets guaranteed when you bet your first $5. Just go to FanDuel.com/Paul and sign up. Then you can bet on everything from the money line to over-unders to which team cuts down all the nets this March. All on an app that's safe, secure, and super easy to use. So take the court with $250 in bonus bets, win or lose, when you place your first $5 bet. Visit FanDuel.com/Paul, Paul with a capital P, and get started. FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. 21 plus and present in North Carolina. First online real money wager only. $10 deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See full terms at FanDuel.com/sportsbook. Gambling problem? Call 877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov.
Psst, hey, Mark, remember, getting help from Progressive is so easy. You can use the mobile app, chat with us online, or call us.
And you pick now to tell me.
I couldn't miss Little Grace's ballet recital. Oh, thanks for inviting me, by the way.
Did I?
Because you know I'm always here for you.
Yeah. I can use the mobile app if I need help. Sorry, you're in my wife's seat, though?
Oh, yeah, I gotta go anyway. Tell Grace she nailed her chassé.
Get the help you need from Progressive with our mobile app, online chat, or over the phone. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
Starting March 18th for 3 days only, shop limited-time doorbusters during Lowe's MVP's bonus days. Buy one Metabo HPT 15-degree roofing nailer. Get one box of Metabo HPT 1 1/4-inch collated roofing nails free, a $49.98 value. Plus, save $39 on a Little Giant A-Force 6-foot, 300-pound stepladder. Shop these deals and more while supplies last. Lowe's knows pros. Valid 3/18 through 3/20. Selection varies by location.
Were you forced to get a nosebleed mortgage rate in the past year? Loan Pronto is here to rescue you. Hey, it's Dennis Cox. Listen, if your mortgage rate is over 7, you're going to be in heaven with Loan Pronto's zero-cost refi. You can cut your house payment by hundreds of dollars with zero closing costs. Rates have come down, so you can say goodbye to that bad loan you got stuck with. Loan Pronto's now got APRs with fixed rates in the 5s. One couple just did this and saved over $550 a month with no appraisal and closed in 10 days. So, don't live with that stupid rate a day longer. You can lock in at a lower rate now with no cost and very little paperwork. Loan Pronto, your easy button for lower rates and no closing cost loans. Call now and see how much lower you can get your house payment. Refi now and you can even skip your next 2 house payments altogether. 919-381-1760. 919-381-1760. LoanPronto.com. 919-381-1760. NMLS 1661781. Subject to lender approval. Equal housing lender.
It is time to hit it and quit it here on The Drive with Tim Donnelly on 99.9 The Fan. Here's how it works. We take the biggest stories, we line them up, we talk about them, we quit it. We hit it, we quit it. I'll get us started. With really a question. Jerry Jeudy got how much money from the Browns?
A lot.
3-year extension worth up to $58 million with $41 million guaranteed. If you would have told me just the guaranteed money was like the up to money, right? Because it's up to 58, guaranteed 41. If you would have told me it was up to 41, guaranteed like 27, I still would have went like, wow, that's a good deal for Jeudy.
Yeah. Good on him.
No knock on anyone getting their cash. But this is why the Panthers have to flirt with every single receiver possible. Because there are some that are just going to be out of your league. It's like, hey, we're really interested. Really, I just got an offer for 41 guaranteed. Oh, never mind. See ya. Right? I mean, that is a lot of money. That's how it makes the Deontay Johnson trade look so much better. So much less of a commitment. You gave up so much less. It's going to cost you so much less against the cap. I think you got the better wide receiver. Deontay Johnson's a more accomplished wide receiver than Jerry Jeudy. And you might say at least with Russ, a more accomplished quarterback. I don't know if he played necessarily, but more accomplished. Better resume. Mike Williams, $13 million.
Mm-hmm.
Some of these guys are getting paid. So
Yeah,
the Panthers have to go talk to them, find out what the market is, and then decide, oh, that's too rich for my blood.
And this is where some people, I think, have to understand is that, like you mentioned, oh, it's only a 5th-round pick to go get Jerry Jeudy. It's like, well, it's a 5th-round pick plus this big contract. Oftentimes when it comes to these trades, some teams won't agree to them until they actually get to negotiate a contract extension with the player's agent. For example, Brian Burns. I'm sure there are other teams that were greatly interested in Brian Burns and what he's capable of doing, but when they talk to the agent, they're like, no, that's too much, which therefore shrinks the market. So now you're only now, as opposed to having 20 teams, asking about a player, it might limit you down to like 5 or 6 or even less than that because it's about who can afford it. So again, these kinds of things dictate what a player's market actually is.
Let's quit that. Let's hit this.
By the way, transfer portal is open in college basketball, and it is wild.
In the first day, there were 450 names.
That's a lot of guys.
In the first day.
Yeah. Even some guys from like NC State, like I think it was LJ Thomas.
Said that ACC tournament run was awesome. I had the best seat in the house. Didn't get to participate.
Yep.
But thank you.
Yeah. Thanks for the memories, guys.
If you look at this, it's roughly like 9%, 8%, something like that, of college basketball players, 7 and change, have entered the portal in the first day. It's been a couple days, but in the first day, that many players entered the portal. You know what is here's what I would say. I forget what stand-up comedian said it, but they had the stand-up comedian had recently gotten divorced. And they said, he said, like, you know what I don't like? Every time I say I got divorced, everybody goes, "Oh." He's like, you know what? Like, good marriages don't end in divorce, right?
Yeah.
It would be really sad if – this is the stand-up comedian talking, not me. I know it's a very complicated topic, and there's many different sides to it. But he was like, the joke was, the stand-up comedian was like, no, if we were both happy and still in love and everything was great, we wouldn't have gotten a divorce. That would be sad if suddenly it was like, I loved them so much. They loved me. It was so great. Everything was going perfectly, and then we had to get a divorce. That would be sad. A lot of times the transfer portal isn't what you think it is, right? It's not running away from competition. It's not it's just things aren't working for one party, right? One side or the other isn't happy, and they want to go test the waters and see if they can find happiness.
And there are often times where coaches are going to tell a player, hey, look, you're not going to have a role here. I will help you find a place. I know coaches at a lot of different schools. I will help you find a place. So sometimes players from the transfer portal, because their coach told them to be there.
Or simply said, hey, listen, love you. Great guy.
Yeah.
You work hard. I don't see a role for you. I want you at practice every day. I want you around. You're good for the program.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I see you working into the rotation.
Exactly.
I want to be up front with you. Sometimes it's that. Sometimes it is a player that, by the way, you know, I've been saying all year about how Andrew Carr at Wake Forest started his career with my Delaware Blue Hens, and how I was very bitter that he left to go to the ACC. I mean, not really, but kind of. Well, guess what? Jair Davis was the best player on Delaware this year. He had helped them win their conference championship a couple years ago, helped them make it to the NCAA tournament. He's in the transfer portal. Like, it happens to everyone. Sometimes it is a player that just, you know, boosted his value and wants to go test himself against the best. You think the best way to handle the transfer portal is to not let athletes go test themselves against the best and to say, nope, you picked a spot when you were 17. Can't leave. I don't know. By the way, ACC fans might appreciate this one.
What's that?
Maxime Reynaud.
Go on.
7'1", all Pac-12 second-team center, who averaged 15.5 points on 57% shooting with 9.6 rebounds and 2.0 assists at ACC's newcomer Stanford. Has hit the transfer portal.
Okay.
So if he wants to have a couple conference matchups against Stanford and stick it to his old team.
Well, there's a couple of former Stanford players playing in the triangle. Michael O'Connell and Harrison Ingram. That are doing pretty well for themselves right now. So maybe he finds his way out here.
Maybe there's a little, you reach back, each one teach one, right? Hey, how awesome was it coming here? 7-1. Big boy. Let's quit that. Let's hit this.
We got better tonight.
Wagner. That's who UNC is going to be playing in the first round of the NCAA tournament after they beat Howard last night. They beat Howard essentially with, how do we say this? No depth. They had 7 guys that were healthy on the team.
Yeah, it's literally, they had 7 healthy scholarship players. They had 6 scholarship players not able to play due to injury.
They're 1 foul trouble, 1 injury away, 1 of each away from, you know, Norman Dale and Hoosiers. My team is on the court. Let's hear from Armando Bacot of UNC on the scouting report of Wagner.
They do get on the transition some. Yesterday, I thought they did a great job in transition, but in the half court, they definitely play slow. So it's one of those things where we got to limit our turnovers, because it's kind of like playing against UVA, where every possession really matters. But if we can get a big lead and they have to play faster, I think that'll help us too.
If it's anything like playing against UVA, ask Colorado State how to do it. Wagner, they're a 16 seed. The odds are stacked against them, but guess what? You've got nothing to lose. If you're North Carolina, you have to be aware that the other team's got nothing to lose. Let's quit that. Let's get to our final hit it and quit it.
Got him!
All right, final thing here on Hit It and Quit It. Who's your Final Four? And give me a champ.
UConn is the champion.
Okay.
UConn, North Carolina in the Final Four. UConn wins. Houston and Kansas on the other side. Houston wins to make it into the final. I went chalky. They're the top 2 seeds, but like I almost think when the top 2 seeds make it to the final of my bracket, like I had no other choice, because I didn't want to do that. I looked for every which way to not do that, and I kept coming back to it. So it's Houston and it's UConn. What do you have?
My Final Four is the same as yours, which I believe you copied mine because I did mine actually Monday. So you definitely copied me. I have North Carolina, UConn, Houston, Kansas. I have North Carolina, Kansas in the championship game. I have UNC winning the championship over the Jayhawks 87-76.
Since we study UNC so much, if UNC wins it all, as they do on your bracket, who's your MOP? Who's the mop?
Oh, most outstanding player, RJ Davis. It's an easy answer.
Okay. Sorry. You know what? I believe it has to be Armando Bacot if he wants to get his jersey in the rafters.
Maybe.
They have criteria over there at UNC.
They do have criteria. Maybe it is Armando Bacot.
He's out there like making sure it happens to get his RJ Davis is already up there because he's an ACC Player of the Year, and that's part of the criteria.
Yeah.
I think an MOP in the Final Four also makes you eligible.
I think so.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan.
Dennis Cox here for my friends over at Underdog Sportsbook. Sports betting has arrived in North Carolina, and Underdog is entering the game. That's right. The state of North Carolina gets Underdog Sportsbook first. Here's something you can do with Underdog. Do parlays, props. You obviously got tons of college basketball going on right now, but Underdog, they worked hard behind the scenes to create a sportsbook app using their own technology for you, the fan. The result is a simple, fresh experience with straightforward language that fans can understand and a design that's clean as it is appealing. Here's the thing with Underdog. Like I said, it's simple. It's easy to use. You can actually create the app experience for yourself. So when you're going through looking to do your parlays for tonight's basketball games, or maybe you're doing some first-round prop bets, you can actually create the app for yourself in the sense that you can make it look at money line bets, or maybe you can do it in terms of like a times boost. Like if I put $10 here, okay, 2 times my money or whatever I put in, okay, I know I'll win $20. That's something that you can actually make the experience for you using the Underdog Sportsbook app. And that's the reason why I go with Underdog. It's easy and simple to use. You should use Underdog Sportsbook as well. Just download the Underdog Sportsbook app on iOS or Android. Sign up with promo code Dennis. My name, DENNIS. And your first bet, and use your first bet mulligan, which returns up to $1,000 as bonus funds if your first bet loses. Again, that's Underdog Sportsbook, promo code Dennis, and use your first bet mulligan, which returns up to $1,000 as bonus funds if your first bet loses. Must be 21 plus to gamble and present in North Carolina. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov or call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms, conditions, and restrictions apply and can be found in the Underdog Sportsbook app.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Last night, UVA, the Virginia Cavaliers went and Virginia'd all over themselves.
Bruh.
We break it down next.
Whether you're moving into a new home or sprucing up your outdoor space, get more done with the versatility of the Steel Combi System multitasking tool. The Steel KMA 80R Combi Motor is compatible with up to 14 different power head attachments, allowing you to trim, edge, cultivate, and more. Right now, save $50 on the battery-powered KMA 80R Combi Motor with AK30 battery, AL101 charger, and line trimmer attachment. Real Steel. Find yours at steeldealers.com. Offer valid for a limited time only while supplies last. Additional attachments sold separately. See participating dealer for details.
Want a truck? You're in luck, because it's Ram Truck Month at John Heister Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Lillington. We're not talking just 5, 10, or even 15% off. We're talking 20% off all new Ram 1500s, excluding TRX and Tradesman package. 20% off all shiny new Ram 1500s. It's time to get off your keister and get to Heister for your new truck. We'll serve it up with personalized customer service from our team dedicated to providing a seamless buying experience. Hurry to John Heister Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Lillington.
The always ready for breakfast deal.
Going to bed already? Yep. Breakfast at Mickey D's tomorrow. So, sooner I go to bed, sooner it'll be morning. Sooner I'll be at Mickey D's.
This is actually brilliant.
You can come too. Turn out that light.
There's a deal for every breakfast strategist at McDonald's.
For a limited time, you can buy a bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit or sausage, egg, and cheese McGriddles for only $2.50. Price and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal.
What? New scratch-offs are out? That means new chances to become a North Carolina Education Lottery Winners Club member.
Yeah, in the Winners Club, I'll reinvent myself. I won't go by just plain Todd. I'll go by Toddrick. I'll get a gold jacket, play my saxophone again. I'll stop and smell the flowers, call my mom more.
Ugh, Wrap it up, Todd.
It's Todrick.
This month's tickets pack $370 million in total prizes. The Winners Club awaits. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning range from 1 in 2.93 to 4.24. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
You know, for some people, the first time they tried a New York City bagel, it was a life-changing event. Same can be said for New York cheesecake. Incredible stuff. But here's what really changed my life about a dozen years ago. Travers LASIK. Dr. Lori Travers changed my life. I was about 2250 in terms of vision, couldn't do anything without glasses or contacts. Then, about 5 minutes per eye later, utterly painless 20/20 vision. Dr. Lori Travers is the only LASIK specialist in the area, and she made it easy. 0% financing for 24 months is available, and you'll actually save money in the long run when you consider everything that glasses and contact lenses cost you over time. Think about the convenience. That's right. I just wake up and go. Dr. Lori Travers, Travers LASIK, 919-510-6830. Get your free consultation. You can set it up online. TraversLASIK.com, 919-510-6830. TraversLASIK.com. See what you've been missing.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. University of Virginia Cavaliers basketball team has been the center of the sports world for about 20 hours now. And it hasn't been positive.
No, far from it.
67-42 loss to Colorado State in the first four means they won't even make it into the main draw of the NCAA tournament. Bruh. It's bad. It's not good. Everybody's talking about how ugly it was. Everybody's talking about how bad it was. Everybody's talking about how you set basketball 20 years into the past. Everybody's talking about how you play a boring brand of basketball. And fine, right? That's what you want to say. It is bad they lost. It is. All right? Let's just call a spade a spade. Anytime you lose by 25 points in a playoff game, there's going to be negative press, and you're just going to have to eat that. You're just going to have to wear that. But anybody out there in college basketball that is surprised that Virginia scored 42 points, that's on you. UVA plays a wildly non-entertaining brand of basketball. That's just what they do. Are you surprised that the Chiefs found themselves down 10 and then Patrick Mahomes turned it on and went and scored and won the game? No, because that's just what they do. Are you surprised by UVA scoring 42 points? I mean, what were you expecting, 48? Were you like, oh, wow, I really thought they'd flirt with 50. They only got to 42.
I was thinking at least a solid 51,
They've won games with 48 points.
They beat Wake Forest at home 49-47.
Yeah, exactly. UVA plays a wildly non-entertaining brand of basketball. If you sat down, if you got the popcorn ready, you settled in for a night of basketball acting like you were going to watch an action movie and you were ready to be thrilled and excited and feel a range of emotions, I could have told you the only range of emotion you're going to feel is anger to anger. Mad to angry to furious. That was going to be your range of emotions. I covered UVA professionally for a couple years, more than a couple years, handful of years. We used to have in the apartment we were living in at the time, my wife, and I don't know why this is a thing, but have you ever been somewhere with decorative fruits?
Yes.
You have like a bowl and you just put oranges in it or apples in it for no reason. We used to have one of those bowls. And I used to, multiple times a game, think, I wonder what would happen if I picked up this bowl of fruits and just started pelting the television with apples and oranges because I don't want to watch this anymore. And then eventually you desensitize yourself to it and you can watch it and you can appreciate the pack line defense for what it's supposed to be and how it's intended to organize. And that's what you have to do. If you're expecting to see an 80-point game, you're going to have to watch back-to-back UVA games. Reese Beekman is really good. I think he's a good player. I think he should have been all ACC. He was the defensive player of the year.
He actually, I think, led the ACC in assists.
I think he's a really good player.
Yeah.
Other than that, they don't have much offense.
Nope.
I'm surprised that a team that isn't familiar with their defensive strategy was able to score 67 points against them. It's a real bad problem when you're the team that hangs your head on defense and your defense doesn't play well, but the 42 is what they do. Now we need to address what it means for the ACC. That loss is worse than if that loss happened Thursday at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Because Thursday, guess what's going to happen? There's going to be 1,700 games going on at once. People are going to be bouncing around. If you're at a bar, you're going to look like you're watching a ping pong match because your head's going to be going left, right, up, down, left, right, up, looking at all the different monitors. And it wouldn't, all of the focus wouldn't be on that one. But because it was in the first four and it was the metaphorical only game in town, right? It was the Thursday night football game. It was the Monday night football game. It wasn't 1 o'clock on a Sunday for the NFL. Everybody in the country just got a billboard put right outside their bedroom window that says, "Yikes, the ACC." There is a bit of conference responsibility when you play in one of those only game going on in the country games. Every college basketball fan last night was watching you. You know what would have been nice? Would have been nice if the Canes kept it a little closer. Because then maybe people would have stuck over there and not watched that UVA catastrophe, right? And it was a Hulu ESPN game.
It was. Well, here's the thing as well. Is like that game tipped off as the Canes game was kind of wrapping up.
That's actually true. It was the late night game.
Yeah,
You're right.
Late game. So we were
Would
stuck
an
with it either
overtime
way.
have killed you? Would a shootout have really been that bad? No. What I'm saying is there's it's the Matt Stafford effect in a way, right? I talk about the Matt Stafford effect is for those of you that haven't heard me explain it before, I'll do so quickly. When Matt Stafford was with the Lions played on Thanksgiving every year. And a lot of times they were so bad they weren't playing in any other primetime games. So unless you were a Lions fan and you were seeking out watching them play, you might only watch them once a year, and it was on Thanksgiving because there was always a better game on, at Sunday at 1 o'clock that you'd watch. So a casual fan might decide everything, their opinion of the year about Matt Stafford based on how he played on Thanksgiving. If he threw 4 touchdowns on Thanksgiving, your opinion that year was like, Matt Stafford is so good, it's a shame the Lions can't put a good team around him. If he threw 1 touchdown and 2 interceptions, your opinion was, I don't know why everyone likes Matt Stafford and thinks he's so good over there in Detroit. UVA, first 4, the casual fan might be like, everyone was right. The ACC stinks. Did you see Virginia? They were the third seed in the ACC tournament, and they got the doors blown off them by Colorado State. They scored 42 points. Meanwhile, if UVA would have rolled, everyone would have went, you know what? Actually, I think UVA was a little underrated. What were they, a 10 seed? Oh, look at that. They rolled in the first 4.
Hey, don't forget they won a national championship just, 5 years ago?
Wasn't that long ago. Reese Beekman was the defensive player of the year.
That guy can pass the ball so well.
Ryan Dunn was an NBA guy. It's so many casual sports fans' opinions of the ACC were tainted in a horrendous way by whatever, do you call it basketball? I don't know if we call it basketball. By whatever UVA put on the court last night. Tony Bennett, after the game, said he has to reevaluate his system. Do you realize how crazy it is? 5 years ago, that system won him a national championship.
Mm-hmm.
He is synonymous with that system, and now he's like, you know what? No bad ideas.
Well, I think people are also forgetting that system that he had 5 years ago also had 3 NBA draft picks on that team.
True.
Like DeAndre Hunter was the 4th overall pick in the draft. Ty Jerome was a late first, early second, and Kyle Guy was a late second round pick. Get 3 NBA draft picks on that team.
Do you know what else was
Maybe
that last night
matter.
was very bad for?
What's that?
Recruiting.
Well, there's that too.
Because not only did you lose, it didn't look fun.
No, God.
You're not getting any NIL deals based on, did you see me in that 42-point game? Come on, UVA. Now, do you know who we're dependent on?
Who?
Clemson and State.
Yep.
They're the ones that can significantly overperform their seed. It's hard to overperform a 1 seed or a 4 seed, which is what Duke and Carolina are. Now you have this, I think it's a 6 seed Clemson, 11 seed NC State. You're carrying the ACC flag.
Hey, if NC State gets past Texas Tech tomorrow on Saturday, they might potentially play Kentucky, 3 seed. Hey, you know what? When that get to the Sweet 16.
Now we're talking. Then we're in business.
Which, by the way, we do have the potential for Duke, NC State in the Elite Eight.
Duke, NC State in the Elite Eight, and UNC against Caleb Love in Arizona in the Elite Eight.
Yep. Give me all those things to happen.
I have that in my bracket, by the way. UNC in Arizona.
I do have that as well.
And deciding who makes it to the Final Four was literally the last name I wrote down. I left that one because I knew I wanted UConn to win it, so I knew they weren't going to win in the Final Four.
Mm-hmm.
I had UNC in Arizona and just that Final Four spot blank. It was the last name I wrote in, and I went UNC.
Fair enough.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan.
Hey, Dennis Cox here for my friends over at Law Tigers. The Law Tigers, Tobacco Road, Harley-Davidson, Shiny Side Paint, and your Carolina Hurricanes, they're all teaming up together to give the ultimate Canes fan a custom Hurricanes 2023 Harley-Davidson Softail motorcycle. It's an absolutely gorgeous bike, but here's the thing, folks. You only got a couple weeks left before this thing is given away. April 5th, live on the ice at PNC Arena is when the bike is going to be given away. April 5th. I mean, it's March 20th right now. You only got a couple weeks here, folks. So enter today. Go to caniacsbike.com. Again, caniacsbike.com for your chance to win this custom-painted beauty of a bike. Over 30,000 people, over 30,000 of you have entered already to win this bike, which is awesome, warms my heart. And if you win this bike, you let me know. I might just have a motorcycle of my own sometime here in the near future. We'll go out. We'll hit the streets together. Again, caniacsbike.com. Law Tigers, North Carolina's motorcycle lawyers. Law Tigers is a network of independent law firms who are members of the American Association of Motorcycle Injury Lawyers. Law Tigers is not a law firm.
This is The Drive with Tim Donnelly on 99.9 The Fan. Yesterday, we reacted kind of in real time to a lawsuit that was filed yesterday by Clemson against the ACC. With a night to sleep on it, I have further thoughts. Stick around.
Direct Auto Insurance is for uncompromisers, like people who want flexible payment options. Take Corey. When his old car insurance wouldn't extend his payment date, do you think he stopped driving and started speed walking? No. He found Direct Auto and now pays in person with a local agent when it's convenient for him. And you can too. Get a free quote at a store near you. Direct Auto. Stop compromising. Keep driving. Terms apply. National General Group, Winston-Salem.
Guys, if your bedroom stats need help, let us help make your year a slam dunk. If you're suffering from ED, know that you're not alone. At Arise Urology Clinic for Men in Cary, we can help you get off the bench and back in the game with Core Wave Therapy. We're the only ones in the area to offer this exciting, cutting-edge technology that brings new hope to men relying on pills or painful injections. Call Arise Urology Clinic for Men in Cary at 919-459-5400 or visit CoreWaveTherapy.com.
There's definitely nothing in sports quite like March matchups, and that's why BetMGM is dropping bet and get tokens into the accounts of customers in North Carolina. Hey, it's Victoria Vodnecker here for BetMGM, and simply add a wager on March matchups to your bet slip and activate your token. You'll instantly receive a bonus bet no matter how your wager goes. From buzzer beaters to big upsets, BetMGM is here for every magical moment in March matchups. Enjoy same-game parlays, live bets, and so much more with your BetMGM app in North Carolina. Claim your bet and get token today and earn a bonus bet regardless of whether your March matchups wager is a swish or a miss. Only at BetMGM, the king of sportsbooks. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus only, North Carolina only. New and existing customer offer subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards are non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire in 7 days. Gambling problem? Call 877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov.
Sanja loves to bathe, but her feet, they were throbbing. Then one day, I found a solution. Arch supports from the Good Feet store. Have foot pain? Good Feet could help.
You too can live the life you love with Arch supports from the Good Feet store.
Your new Academy Sports and Outdoor store is now open in Knightdale with great brands at the best prices. In here, you'll always find the gear you need to do what you love out there. Get it all at your new Academy Sports and Outdoor store in Knightdale.
Our state's future begins with our students. That's why the North Carolina Education Lottery has contributed over $10 billion to education. Through scholarships, school construction, support staff, and pre-K programs, lottery dollars move our state forward, helping students become the best versions of themselves. Visit movingncstudentsforward.com and share how your student or school community has benefited for a chance to earn $2,000 for your story. Must be 18 to play. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
The Dugout Tavern and Grill, #1 sports bar in Apex and your March Hoops headquarters.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Clemson. Why? Yesterday, Clemson went full Florida. Every time we mention it, we're just going to get the boo guy.
That boo guy is Homer Simpson, sir.
All right. Oh, every time we mention Clemson, we have to say they went Clemson. There you go. Every time we mention that orange team from South Carolina, they went full Florida State yesterday. They sued the ACC for an impact on how this might impact college football. Here's Pete Thamel. I promise.
They do the 30 for 30 on the redrawing of the map of college sports. There's an irresistible intersection that happened today. We have the CFP news with all of obviously the leagues agreeing to a 8-year deal with ESPN. And included in that is a financial codification of just how far ahead the Big Ten and the SEC are from the ACC. It's almost $10 million a year just from the CFP. You combine that with the nearly $30 million a year estimated in the lawsuit today by Clemson, and it's just an exclamation point for how far these leagues are ahead of everybody else. So when you really look at where the Big Ten and the SEC are as a Power 2, I think this is the most significant note. If Clemson and Florida State do end up leaving, and again, they haven't left, this is essentially a declaration of free agency for them. But if they do leave, the only team remaining that's been in the college football playoff the last 10 years is TCU of the Big 12. Every other playoff participant will be in a Power 2 league.
Interesting. Yesterday, I asked some questions, right? My initial reaction is how. My initial reaction is, what do Clemson's lawyers think they know that Florida State's don't? My initial reaction is you willingly signed the grant of rights. It is a contract. You can't just get out of a contract because you no longer want to be in the contract. There are terms of contracts that you have to follow. Contractual law, I believe is what it's called. My reaction today is, let's make sure we don't go full Chicken Little. We're not running around going, the sky is falling, the sky is falling. On game day, I still don't think anything changes. Don't let it ruin your game day yet. Here's what I mean. Name, image, and likeness is a big story in college sports, right? Everybody's really excited about it, jacked up about it. Oh, players, they're only about their money. Nick Saban seems to be on some kind of crusade against it, even though Nick Saban is no longer involved in college sports. And all I keep saying is, what has it changed? This has been my take for a long time. Okay, Drake May had a little bit more spending money, probably drove a nicer car, stayed in a nicer apartment. How did that change your North Carolina football experience on a Saturday? It didn't. It didn't. Right? Okay, players can, guess what? Occasionally you saw one of them in a local television commercial. How did that change your Saturday? It didn't. How did that change your game day? It didn't. And for the foreseeable future, I don't think it's going to change anything here. I thought it was funny, right? We went to the ACC tournament, right? ACC men's basketball tournament in Washington, D.C. And and Florida State was there. And Florida State is actively suing the ACC. And I almost expected them, I don't know what my brain was doing subconsciously. I expected them to be wearing like a scarlet letter. I expected them to be flagged on all of the programs. And I expected them to, maybe they jogged out onto the court. Everyone else had like play-in music and they had complete silence and crickets. But guess what? They were exactly like every other team. They were out there doing their best to play basketball. They were winning games. They were losing games. They were wearing their jerseys. They were playing basketball. If I didn't know, based on all the reporting leading up to then, that Florida State and the ACC were in some kind of bitter, drag-it-out, knockdown courtroom battle across multiple states, if I didn't know that, I wouldn't have known that. And I think the same is going to be true here, right? Clemson, what did he say? Announced their free agency. I don't think they can go anywhere. So this upcoming year when we're playing football, or heck, this weekend when Clemson is playing in the NCAA tournament, guess what they're going to be identified as?
ACC school.
Yeah. And next year when they're playing for a conference championship, guess which conference championship they're going to be vying for throughout the season?
ACC.
Nothing is, and when... do they come to town for any of the teams? I don't have their schedule.
I'll have to look it up.
All right. If they come to town for one of the three teams in the triangle, if you want to go take them in as a visiting opponent, guess what's going to change? Boo! Sure, you can boo them, but you'd be doing that anyway. Nothing will change. Dabo still won't take transfers. They'll still have a bunch of 5 stars, right? They'll still be, Cade Klubnik will still be out there. They'll still be doing the Clemson thing. If you go to a game in Death Valley out there in South Carolina, they're still going to run down a hill and touch a rock. I don't know why, but that's what they do. Nothing changes. And if you, it is something interesting to talk about Monday through Thursday of the football season. It's something to talk about between now and game starting tomorrow in the NCAA tournament. It is something to talk about Monday through Wednesday of next week. You can talk about it all, and it's off-season stuff, and it's drama, and it's reality television, but your game day doesn't change. At least not yet, and not I think, anytime soon. So if you don't want to let it infiltrate your side of things, don't let it infiltrate your side of things. Right? If you just want to be like, oh, I like college sports the way they were, guess what? They are. If you avoid like ESPN outside the lines, right? If you don't go to ESPN.com and click on the 20,000-word manifestos about conference realignment, if you just choose to not partake that part of the college sports conversation, it can be darn near exactly the same as it was. Same as it ever was. Same as it ever was. Right? That's your choice. I could take my ancestors, right, and go find my great-grandfather if he were alive and take him to a football game, and he'd be impressed with the Jumbotron, right? He'd be looking at the marvels of stadium building, but the action on the field is going to be football. Now, would I absolutely blow his mind if I brought up that the quarterback was making like $500,000? Probably, but that would be more of an inflation thing than anything else.
Yeah.
He'd be like, really? The duffel bags full of cash we used to get were $400. He's making $500,000. It'd be more of an inflation thing. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Goodness gracious. Let's go ahead and talk about something that hopefully my great-grandfather, if he were alive, would be excited about. The wait is over. DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of NASCAR, is now live in North Carolina. I'm Tim Donnelly for DraftKings Sportsbook, and now you can legally bet on all your favorite sports, anytime, anywhere, right here in North Carolina with DraftKings. For a limited time, by the way, new customers who signed up with promo code TIMD, TIMD, no spaces, and bet $5, that's all you have to do, you'll receive $250 instantly in bonus bets. Guess what? The Carolina Hurricanes, right now, if you want to make a future bet on them to win the NHL championship, plus 700. That's all they are. They're the second betting favorite to win it all. And if they keep playing the way they're playing, those odds might get shorter. Just keep that in mind. Plus 700 as they stand right now. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now using code TIMD. That's TIMD. And bet $5 to get $250 instantly in bonus bets. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook with code TIMD. No spaces. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 877-185-543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov. 21 plus, North Carolina only. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. Deposit and eligibility restrictions apply. Terms at DraftKings.com/sportsbook/NC. NASCAR is not a sponsor of this promotion and used under license. We'll take a break. When we come back, it is time for the starting five. And today used to be one of the coolest days of the year until they went and messed it up. Stick around.
You call that a precision stop?
When a rookie stunt driver, just give me a shot, meets the trainer who thought he'd seen it all.
Come on, focus.
They'll soon find out that behind the wheel of the Nissan Rogue, with the power of VC turbo and the most fuel-efficient gas-powered engine in its class, watch this, the protege can become a master. But this is no ordinary blockbuster. It's a Nissan sales event ad.
Whoa! Level up your drive with 1.9% APR financing for 60 months on the 2023 Nissan Rogue. Shop the Nissan sales event. Visit your local Nissan store and nissanusa.com today. Auto Pacific segmentation excluding hybrids and electric vehicles. 2024 EPA fuel economy estimates from 28 city 34 highway to 30 city 37 highway for 2024 Nissan Rogue. Actual mileage may vary. For well-qualified buyers, 1.9% APR financing for 60 months on new 2023 Rogue and dealer stock. Example, 60 months financing at $1,748 per month per thousand financed. Actual down payment may vary. Subject to residency restrictions and INMAC credit approval. Not all buyers qualify. Dealer contribution may affect actual price set by dealer. Contact dealer for details. Ends 4/1/24.
What makes Wendell Falls so special? Town Square, fresh air, welcome homes, room to roam, a creatively crafted community. Fly by this weekend for spring open house tour. Visit WendellFalls.com. Equal housing opportunity.
Hey guys, sound familiar? Your energy's not the same. The weight's starting to creep up. You're a little forgetful. And to make matters worse, you're not sleeping well. Well, it could be low T, but you shouldn't go one more day dealing with these symptoms. Help is available at QC Kinetics. They'll help diagnose the issue and get you back to feeling like yourself again. QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in regenerative medicine. They use biologic treatments, encouraging your body to optimize the hormone levels you need to boost stamina, provide more mental clarity, and improve your metabolism. It starts with a complimentary consultation and comprehensive exam. One quick office visit, and you'll have next steps to swing those hormone levels back into balance. All using the protocols QC Kinetics is known for around the country. Most importantly, you'll be back to yourself, and that's important. So call right now for your complimentary consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 919-400-5473. That's 919-400-5473. Located in Raleigh, 919-400-5473.
Hey, didn't see you downtown last weekend. Nope, we had a night out at the new Salt and Lime by the Raleigh Grand. What? No Sharkies? Well, I love Sharkies, but we had to try Salt and Lime's Baja Mexican menu. The food and atmosphere there is great. Just love it. And we had a pre-dinner drink around the corner at that new wine bar, The Mix. It's almost next door to Sharkies. Excellent drinks, great selection of wine, and they had live music. Well, that's perfect. It was. Next week, it's House of Hops. I just love the relaxed atmosphere, and the beer selection is out of this world. Then Sharkies for some late-night entertainment. Every place is so convenient. I know. They're just a stone's throw from each other. Yeah. Wait, I guess it would depend on the size of the stone and, of course, who's throwing it. True. The closer they are, the larger the stone could be, right? And if my husband is throwing it, it maybe needs to be a small stone.
Salt and Lime, The Mix, House of Hops, and Sharkies, just a stone's throw from each other. Check them out online and visit soon.
Hey, it's me, your future you. You made bad credit card moves. Got no rewards to use. Ugh. Should've compared cards with the nerds and got the cash back you deserve. Now you have to stand to see your favorite band while your friends all got VIP wristbands. Don't make your future you hate you.
Compare and find top credit cards today with NerdWallet.
NerdWallet. Finance smarter.
This hour on the Triangle Sports Leader is brought to you by the Ritchie Law Firm Injury Lawyers.
You can feel the madness!
Go to GotBrian.com. That's GotBrian.com.
WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. Take us with you on radio, web, app, Alexa, and YouTube. 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm WRAL meteorologist Mike Mays. It's been windy and it's been warm this afternoon, warmer than yesterday. We've got a cool front on the way tonight that'll bring in cooler air for your Thursday. Tonight's low 42, the high with sunshine tomorrow up to 63.
Weather update brought to you by Newcomb & Company, where your comfort is their business. Visit newcombandcompany.com. 5 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones is up 401 points to 39,512. Market update brought to you by The Dugout Tavern and Grill, #1 sports bar in Apex and your March Hoops headquarters.
It's 5 o'clock. Time to serve up the biggest sports stories of the day. Here comes your starting five.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Today's starting five maybe should have been a starting nine. You'll see why when we get to number 5. It is Major League Baseball's opening day. Raise your hand if you were aware of that.
Keep it 2 hands on the wheel.
Put your hands down. MLB Opening Day today. What? And I ask this with all contempt. What in the world is Major League Baseball doing? They opened, what was it, Dodgers Padres in Korea? That's what they went with?
In Seoul, South Korea, I believe, yes.
Opening day, Major League Baseball should be sacred. Every team should play, right? It should start noon. You play, it should be cosmically guaranteed that it is a beautiful, sunny spring afternoon. I don't know how you do that, but make it happen.
Like we have here today.
Yeah, exactly. It should be day like today. You play all through the afternoon, all through the early evening. You turn the lights on. You finish the games under the lights. You play opening day baseball. Why would you do this weird, hey, a week before opening day, we have an opening day in Korea just to make it so opening day is a fake opening day? Major League Baseball opening day is different, right? Because, NFL opens with a Thursday nighter. NFL opening day is not Major League Baseball opening day. Doesn't have it. It doesn't have it. I'm sorry. I don't get it. I don't know why they're right. There's every year in the middle of the summer. It's cliche. It's some would say hacky. To every sports show fixes baseball in the summer, right? You think of all the things baseball's doing to not appeal to young people, all the things baseball's doing to lose viewers and fans and everything else.
Stupid unwritten rules.
And then you talk about it in the summer when there's no football going on, no basketball going on. Hockey is unless you have a good team is wrapped up. Then you can dive into fixing baseball. And I'm not even in the fixing baseball argument. You know what I'm in? Don't hurt baseball. If you have a few things that are perfect about baseball, keep those. Preserve those. We'll get to fixing it another day. What's the first thing you have to do when you realize you're in a hole?
Stop digging.
Stop digging. Before you even have to consider getting out of the hole, stop digging. Major League Baseball has got 6 shovels in their hands right now. That's number 5. Let's get to number 4.
We are the 4 horsemen.
North Carolina's playing Wagner. We didn't know that until last night. Wagner beat Howard in the what do we call this? First round, play-in round, opening round?
The first 4, sir.
The first 4?
First 4 up in Dayton.
First 4 games?
Yeah.
It's first 8 teams?
First 4. The court says first 4.
Yeah. So?
It's the first 4.
Probably says Flyers also, doesn't it?
No.
I don't. I remember, this is a side note, and I'm not making any kind of political statement. I remember when the NBA was they were throwing like equality or end racism or something on the court. And some people were really proud of it. Some people were really upset by it. Do you know what I realized? I never read the court.
It's fair.
Like 2 weeks later, everyone's upset about it. I'm like, wait a second. You're telling me the court's changed? If it doesn't look like Oregon's court with like a literal forest on the court, or the NBA All-Star game where it was like a video game on the court, if it doesn't look like that, I just don't notice. So the first four is what it says on the court. Wagner beat Howard in the first four, and the winner of that one playing UNC. So UNC, a 1 seed, gets 16th seeded Wagner. Dennis, would you? I think you'd rather play a 16 seed that didn't have to earn their way in like that. I think you'd rather play a cold 16 seed.
I just want to play a 16 seed.
Yeah, but if you don't get to choose. But if you did, you got like a traditional 16 seed or a 16 seed coming out of the first four. I think I'd want the traditional 16 seed. Either way, UNC has to be ready for Wagner. They're a team that is thin on bodies, high on energy, slow on pace, maybe high on confidence. Let's hear from Armando Baycott, his kind of scouting report looking towards Wagner.
They do get on the transition some. Yesterday, I thought they did a great job in transition, but in the half court, they definitely play slow. So it's one of those things where we got to limit our turnovers, because it's kind of like playing against UVA, where every possession really matters. But if we can get a big lead and they have to play faster, I think that'll help us too.
Yeah, getting out to a big lead helps in just about every situation ever. So I'll agree with that. And by the way, I made this point earlier. I do this for a living. I'm constantly consuming sports. I watch games just about every night. I rewatch a lot of them the next morning. I did not watch any Wagner basketball this year. Somehow that slipped through my consumption.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if they were on True TV or something like that.
With my, if I ever was like, I got to catch the Wagner game, I haven't caught him this year, my wife, that might be a foot down situation.
Yeah.
I'm like, I've watched every Canes game. I've watched every Duke game. I've watched every UNC game. I've watched every NC State game. I've caught a bunch of Wake Forest games.
Mm-hmm.
I watch the biggest game every, if there's a Kentucky-Tennessee or something, I'm probably watching that. If ever I'm like, you know what, Wagner's on, and just in case they play UNC in the tourney, I want to get acquainted, and it might be a foot down situation. But if we take Armando Baycott as a true to his word, if they like to slow it down, it's not a bad strategy if you're going to try to slay Goliath. So UNC has to be on their P's and Q's, right? Shortening the game kind of always opens the door for more wide range of outcomes. Because if you only have, half the possessions and you get lucky on 5 threes, that can completely switch everything. And that's easier to get lucky on 5 threes than to get lucky on 10 threes.
You're also, obviously, you're the better team, North Carolina. You don't want to be sloppy. Even though you might win by 20, you still don't want to be sloppy and, fall into a rut of some kind going into the second round.
True. Actually, yeah, if you're in momentum, yeah. I get what you're saying. Let's move on. That was number 4. Let's get to number 3.
1, 2, 3.
UVA lost last night to Colorado State.
Bruh.
Yikes. Not a hot start for the ACC. We'll put it that way. Do you know what is maybe the good news?
What's that?
UVA was playing bad in the ACC. They did not end their season on a run. They ended their season on a downturn. They did not win the ACC tournament. They were upset by NC State.
They had to go to overtime against Boston College, too.
They played a couple of overtime games.
Mm-hmm.
So, looking at UVA, did they get beat by Colorado State? Yes. Was that the biggest and baddest the ACC had to offer being sent out there? No. Do you know who's probably the most mad about it?
Who?
Pittsburgh.
Yep.
They're going, oh, we sent them? We could have sent us and we sent them. It's fair. By the way, this is where I have to stand my ground. I routinely say that the seeding system, the selection committee has been wrong about the ACC because of teams outperforming their seed, right? Because of teams that do get in for the ACC overwhelmingly do better than their seed would say. So I've often said the selection committee was wrong because the ACC teams they put in there prove they should have put more ACC teams in. If I obey that same logic, I have to say Virginia didn't deserve to be in the tournament. If you're going to show up and put that on the court, that's the style of basketball you're going to play, that's what you're going to do, I think I have to then turn around and go, you know what? Probably shouldn't have been there. Now, if I had my druthers, I'd replace them with Pitt. I wouldn't replace them with another conference. But you really did the ACC in on that one, UVA.
Thanks, UVA.
That's the first three of the starting five. We'll get to the next two in a second. In the meantime, I want to tell you about my friends Coach Pete and everyone over at Capital Financial Advisory Group. Do you know how much you're spending on commissions each year? How about the amount of risk you're taking? Or how many fees you're paying? All of this could be coming out of your retirement account without you knowing it. If it's that kind of fear that you're having right now with really that's possible, it's time to sit down and see for yourself how these financial termites can wreak havoc on your financial plan. Coach Pete knows how to exterminate each and every one of them and get you through retirement worry-free. Coach Pete will help you regain control of your foundation for retirement and see you to and through a worry-free retirement. Call now for Coach Pete's famous and elaborate total retirement plan. There are 22, yes, you heard that right, 22 steps that go along with the process of identifying your unique financial composition and the best way to navigate the journey along the road to and through retirement. Coach Pete and his team at Capital Financial Advisory Group develop a total and customized retirement plan so you can secure and maintain both confidence and control of your finances. Coach Pete is committed to helping you retire like a champion, getting you through the financial red zone, over the goal line, and into that retirement end zone. Call 800-691-3215 or text Tim, that's my name, T-I-M, to 600-700. 800-691-3215 right now or text Tim to 600-700. We'll be back with more of the starting five coming up next.
What? New scratch-offs are out? That means new chances to become a North Carolina Education Lottery Winners Club member.
Yeah, in the Winners Club, I'll reinvent myself. I won't go by just plain Todd. I'll go by Toddrick. I'll get a gold jacket, play my saxophone again. I'll stop and smell the flowers, call my mom more.
Ugh, wrap it up, Todd.
It's Toddrick.
This month's tickets pack $370 million in total prizes. The Winners Club awaits. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning range from 1 in 2.93 to 4.24. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
At Bet365, they don't do ordinary. They believe that every sport should be epic. Every point, every game, every layup, every play. From the moments that are legendary to the ones that fly under the radar. See for yourself when you sign up today, and you'll get $200 in bonus bets when you bet just $5. Whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary. At Bet365, official partner of the Charlotte Hornets. 21 plus only. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov. Terms and conditions apply.
Want to score points with your boss? Recruit RoofWorks to your building maintenance team to handle your commercial roofing needs. Hi, this is Holly with RoofWorks. We've helped hundreds of Triangle businesses with their commercial roof maintenance, repairs, and if necessary, total replacements. Our pros come to your site, assess your roofing needs, and then give you a range of options to fit your budget. And we'd love to work with you. For roof maintenance and repair, contact us today at roofworks.com. That's roof, WERKS.com.
Wow! Check out all the great deals right now on brand new 2024 vehicles at John Heister Chevrolet. Like $3,000 off a Malibu RS or $4,000 off the Silverado 2500 High Country. With a 2010 or newer Chevrolet trade-in, you can get your hands on an Equinox LT for up to $5,500 off, a Blazer RS up to $7,000 off, or a Silverado RST or 1500 Custom for up to $9,000 off. Get off your keister and get to John Heister Chevrolet in Fuquay Varina. Together, let's drive.
Getting ready to take on spring? Make your first move with the reliable performance and power of Steel battery tools. From hedge trimmers and mowers to string trimmers and more, save on select Steel battery tools. Right now, save $50 on the FSA 57 battery trimmer set. Real Steel. Find yours at steeldealers.com. with AK-10 battery and AL101 charger. Offer valid for a limited time only while supplies last. See participating dealer for details.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies candidates with the right skills, sends you great matches, then you can easily invite them to apply. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. See for yourself. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Planning for spring at Lowe's means big savings on outdoor power equipment, and Lowe's knows nothing feels better than free. Buy one select Ego string trimmer, leaf blower, or mower kit. Get one select 56-volt battery free. That's up to a $299 value. Power through spring with Ego, the #1 rated brand in cordless outdoor power. Because Lowe's knows home improvement. Valid through 4/3 while supplies last. Selection varies by location.
Did you know one of the best investments you can make? It's in yourself. At My Computer Career, in just a few months, you could start your new career in the high-demand, recession-resistant field of information technology. Isn't it time you invest in you and start a career in networking, cybersecurity, AI, or upskill to boost your current IT career? So, get the ROI you deserve at My Computer Career. No experience necessary. Start now at mycomputercareer.edu.
Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the GI Bill.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Dennis and I are going to have to start comparing notes before the show a bit better because we had a big segment revealed to talk about our brackets earlier today.
We did.
By the way, this is number 2 of the starting 5. And as most people are with your brackets, especially people you're going to kind of compete against, we were secretive. I didn't tell him mine. He didn't tell me his. We have the same Final 4.
Yeah. I would also like to have it on the record that I filled out my bracket first.
I'd like to have it on the record that I didn't know that.
Okay.
UConn, Houston, UNC, and Kansas. We had the same 4 seed in the Final 4.
I was tempted to go with Creighton, but I decided to go Kansas. I know that
I thought I was pushing Creighton far by putting him in the Elite 8. You did too.
I had him there as well. But I know
Did
Kansas.
you have that exact same bracket? You had Purdue. Did you have Purdue or that same region? Did you have Purdue losing to Kansas?
Yeah. Did you have Utah State over TCU?
I had TCU over Utah State.
So
thank goodness we're not doing.
I had McNeese over Gonzaga as well.
Yeah, okay. So there's a few differences in the first round.
I had Oregon over South Carolina.
I do not have that.
Okay, well, our boss Paul would like to have a word with you now. Who's an Oregon grad?
That's fair. Never mind. I had Oregon winning it all. Here's the deal. How far did you have Duke going?
I have Duke going to the Sweet 16.
Losing to Houston.
Correct.
So do I. I don't like. This is embarrassing.
Do you have Florida over Kentucky? What's your South Regional final?
Houston and Kentucky.
I have Houston over Florida.
Okay, so there's small differences, but and our champion, our finals are different, and our champion is different. I have UConn winning it all. You have UNC winning it all.
I have North Carolina 87-76 over Kansas. I even give you an exact score.
I have not thought of a final score. Maybe I'll come up with it on the spot. My point is we're very similar.
Yeah, we do.
Maybe we need to spend time talking sports with somebody else to get an infusion of new thoughts into our lives. Let's hear from RJ Davis on his thoughts on getting back to the NCAA tournament, because don't forget, UNC, Dennis's national champion pick, wasn't even in the tourney last year.
First and foremost, I'm glad to be back. Just playing in March, especially in March Madness, it's a great feeling, and it's the type of feeling that you've always wanted, you dreamed of as a kid. You kind of just watch, half-court shots, game winners. But just to be back in this position feels great, not only for us but for the program, just to get Carolina back onto the map. And we're hungry to win, and we set a lot of goals, and one of the goals was to be in March Madness and do well. And we're back, so just got to do a good job of our preparation, our mindset going into these games, because at the same time everyone's hungry and everyone wants to win. So we have to have that in the back of our minds.
Everybody's hungry. Everybody wants to win. You can have that in the front of your mind. That's going to be in the back of your mind. That can be right there at the forefront. There are more than a few people that have hinted that perhaps a loss in the conference tournament is good for narrowing in your focus heading into the NCAA tournament. If that's the case, UNC is set up nice. Because I'm sure losing to a rival in your conference championship is not one that was met with a lot of well, it's fine. There probably was some hard conversations, some hard practices, and they likely are laser focused in for Wagner when they get started.
By the way, follow 99.9 The Fan on social media platforms. I'll be in Charlotte tomorrow.
Hey.
So if you want to follow along with some action.
Along with that, our show is 10 to noon tomorrow.
Yes.
So 10 a.m. to noon, getting you set for all of the games. We will not be on in the afternoon.
We'll have games starting at noon all the way up till 6:30 when Storm Watch begins because Carolina Hurricanes are in action. If you want to hear the Adam Gold Show, that's going to be over on Buzz Sports Radio from noon to 3 tomorrow. But if you want to hear NCAA tournament games where you're driving, running an errand or going to lunch or driving home from work, tune into The Fan. We got you.
I do think that this week we've been doing a lot of hey, we're on here, then we're moving here, then it's on there. Just know if you're looking for sports, if you're looking for live sports, if you're looking for us, Adam Gold, we're doing our best to get as much as we can on our family of networks. Tune in, bounce around to Buzz, to hear, sometimes mix, just to get what you're looking for.
By the way, tomorrow, because the Carolina Hurricanes are in action tomorrow, once that game or once Storm Watch at 6:30 kicks off, all the game action will flip over to Buzz Sports Radio for the NCAA tournament. But if you want to hear the NC State broadcast tomorrow night, Mix 101.5, they will have that for you as well.
That's number 2. Let's get to number 1.
The one!
Did you mention the Canes?
I did.
The Canes won 4-1 over the Islanders on the road last night.
Yeah, they did.
With 2 minutes of hockey to break that one down, here's our good friend Adam Gold.
All right, boys and girls, I've got 2 minutes for 2 players that helped bring Carolina 2 points in 2 minutes and 1.1 seconds. I will explain in a moment. All brought to us by Dysart Willis. Dysart Willis is joining Maynard Nexon. You can read the announcement at maynardnexon.com. Carolina on Long Island last night, taking on the Islanders. Islanders are in a playoff race. They're trying to get to it. They have lost 4 in a row. They'll be desperate. Carolina trying to catch the Rangers. They should also be desperate. It was the Islanders who were the better team, though, through the first 2/3 of the first period, and then Seth Jarvis done went to work.
Jarvis gets to a loose puck, and he beats Sorokin low before Sorokin can push over and seal the butterfly. 1-0 for Seth Jarvis and the Carolina Hurricanes.
But the real thing was the 1.1 seconds part of the open when Carolina on the power play, puck behind their own goal with about 10 seconds left, and maybe the Islanders just assumed that Carolina would skate the period out.
Another clean entry! Another clean entry! Kuznetsov to Natchez, and I swear Natchez, after he blew it by Sorokin high to the glove, just did the wings. I swear he just did the wings. He's been known to collect after he scores, but I thought after that gorgeous pass on that clean entry from Kuznetsov, Natchez blows it by Sorokin on the glove, and then he had the wings that Evgeny is known for.
No, that was Martin Natchez doing Martin Natchez things. 1.1 second left, and I think he did the bird. But by the way, who calls collect these days? Does anybody call collect? Nobody calls collect. 4-1, Hurricanes win. All brought to us by Dysart Willis. Dysart Willis is joining Maynard Nexon. You can read the announcement at maynardnexon.com.
That is 2 minutes of hockey from Adam Gold breaking down the Carolina Hurricanes 4-1 victory. Their schedule, just looking ahead, busy would be one way to describe it.
To say the least.
They play Thursday, that's tomorrow, at home against Philly. Then they're on the road Friday in Washington. We were just there, Capital One Arena. Then Sunday at home versus Toronto. Then Tuesday at Pittsburgh. Then Thursday at home versus Detroit. It's not only like every other day, essentially. Sometimes more frequent than that, but it's also home away, home away, home away. It's a lot of effort going into the season schedule for the next couple of days. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Want to tell you about my friends Gordon Miller and everyone over at Miller Lending. There's more talk out there The Fed cuts anticipated, which means interest rates could be coming down in the near future, which means especially if you have to sign up for a mortgage now, all right, you needed to move closer to family, farther from family, closer to a job, whatever it is, don't lock in or buy down your rates right now. Get a no closing cost loan, make sure it's with Miller, and then they will be prepared to refinance with you, for you, when those rates drop in the next year, in the next 6 months. As rates drop, they can continue to refinance and get that rate lower and lower, which does directly translate to your payment being lower and lower. It's a high time to stop buying down rates that you won't keep for more than a few months or even a few years. Give them a call, Miller Lending, 919-447-3377. They can give you advice on how to handle your mortgage process. And if you locked into a super high rate because you had no choice within the last couple of years, give them a call. They can talk about all your options. 919-447-3377. And again, a no closing cost loan comes with no money out of your pocket, which is a beautiful way to think about it. You can also visit them online at millerlending.com. That's millerlending.com. Miller Lending is an equal housing lender, NMLS number 250-2146. We also need some contestants for the numbers game. Avenged Sevenfold tickets go to the winner. It is Live is But a Dream North American Tour Part 3 with special guests Poppy and Sullivan King at PNC Arena on Friday, March 29th. If you want to win the tickets, you have to play the numbers game. If you want to play the numbers game, you have to call in. The number, 919-860-5326. 919-860-5326. We need 2 contestants. Call in now. Numbers game, next.
The always ready for breakfast deal.
Going to bed already? Yep. Breakfast at Mickey D's tomorrow. So, sooner I go to bed, sooner it'll be morning. Sooner I'll be at Mickey D's.
This is actually brilliant.
You can come too. Turn out that light.
There's a deal for every breakfast strategist at McDonald's.
For a limited time, you can buy a bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit or sausage, egg, and cheese McGriddles for only $2.50. Price and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal.
The moment we've been waiting for has arrived. Download the Caesars Sportsbook app today using code NEWNC. Then place your first bet of $10 or more, and win or lose, you'll receive $250 in bonus bets. Open to new users in North Carolina who are 21 or older. Terms and conditions apply. See Caesars.com/promos or the promos tab in the app for full terms. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-718-5543 or visit morethanagamenc.gov. Tribal Casino Gaming Enterprise is a licensed operator by the North Carolina State Lottery Commission.
This is the time of year to enjoy life, isn't it? Everything's starting to bloom. Well, stop letting that pain in your joints keep you from doing what you want to do this spring. Call QC Kinetics now. QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in regenerative medicine, and I'm talking about lasting joint pain relief with no surgery, no drugs, and no downtime. Adam Gold here, and this is a fact. QC Kinetics is literally transforming lives. Their advanced treatments harness your own body's ability to restore and repair damaged joint tissue. Pro athletes have been doing this for decades, but now this life-changing treatment is available for you. So you can walk and run and climb and play and do anything you want pain-free. No pain pills, no surgery, all natural solutions. Live your best life this spring and summer. Call QC Kinetics now for a free consultation. 919-400-5473. 919-400-5473. 4 locations: Cary, Clayton, Raleigh, and Wake Forest. QC Kinetics.
Heard the catchphrase that's sweeping the nation?
Jackson Hugh, yeah.
People are saying Jackson Hugh, yeah, to Jackson Hewitt because they love saving money on tax prep. Do you love saving money? Then switch to Jackson Hewitt today and pay less than last year. Thousands of people have already made the switch. Why haven't you? Stop waiting and start filing. You won't get a better deal or a better catchphrase. All together now.
Jackson Hugh, yeah!
Proof of prior year payment required when filing. New clients only at participating locations through April 7th. Terms at jacksonhewitt.com.
Did you know one of the best investments you can make? It's in yourself. At My Computer Career, in just a few months, you could start your new career in the high-demand, recession-resistant field of information technology. Isn't it time you invest in you and start a career in networking, cybersecurity, AI, or upskill to boost your current IT career? So, get the ROI you deserve at My Computer Career. No experience necessary. Start now at mycomputercareer.edu.
Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the GI Bill.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan, is getting ready for another edition of our favorite game, the numbers game. On the line, Avenged Sevenfold tickets. They're coming to PNC Arena, and you can win a pair of tickets. I say you can win a pair of tickets because we do have Taylor and Apex on line 1, getting ready to play. Line 2 dropped out. This happens occasionally. The connection isn't good, whatever it is. They thought they could talk on the phone, and then, the doctor said, well, hey, you're up next. And click, and they hung up. Whatever it is. Line 2 is open right now. 919-860-5326. We have one more spot to play because of the dropout, which means Taylor gets to go first, and you could be the second caller. So 919-860-5326 if you want to jump on the line quickly here. Taylor, are you there?
Hello.
All right, Taylor. That was a hesitation that made me nervous, but you're here. You ready to play? Are you ready to go?
Let's do it.
All right. The categories are NFL Syracuse alum in the pros, NFL Florida State alum in the pros, NBA all jerseys under the number 35, and NHL Canes and Whalers only. Those are the 4 categories you have to choose from. Which do you want to play?
NFL Syracuse.
All right. These are all players in the NFL that attended Syracuse for their college football. I will give you the team and an NFL, or the player and the NFL team they played for. We want that specific jersey number from their time with that team. There's 30 seconds on the clock. You do have one pass if you'd like to use it. Any questions?
Nope.
All right. Your time will start when you hear the horn. Donovan McNabb, Philadelphia Eagles.
5.
Correct. Marvin Harrison, Indianapolis Colts.
88.
Correct. Jim Brown, Cleveland Browns.
32.
Correct. Dwight Freeney, Indianapolis Colts.
93.
Correct. David Tyree, New York Giants.
80.
Incorrect.
80.
Incorrect. David Tyree, New York Giants.
81.
Incorrect. David Tyree, New York Giants.
84.
Incorrect. David Tyree. You were getting there. I think if you would have had 2 more guesses, you would have gotten there. 85. You hit 80, and then you paused for a while. I think you ended up saying 80. I think you ended up saying 88. I wasn't sure if you just pulled the ripcord completely and your guess was 80, and I was late on telling you were incorrect. I was very happy you finished it because then I didn't mess you up. But 4 out of 5 is a great number. It's a very strong number. David Tyree would have been a good pull. I think you stumbled upon what would have been the right strategy, which is to just say all of the 80s and run through it. But either way, 4 is a good number. Sit on the line. We'll see if it holds up. Dennis, do we have another contestant? We have Shamad in Fuquay Varina. Shamad, are you there?
He just dropped. Hold on. I'll get another caller. Another caller.
Caller, 919-860-5326. We thought we had one. Now we have to wait. So Taylor and Apex is just on pins and needles right now, trying to figure out if this one is right. Dennis is on the phone. I'm going to give you a play-by-play. I used to do play-by-play back in the day. Dennis scratches his nose, now looks back down at the receiver. The phone is at his ear. There is a pregnant pause.
Darian from Raleigh.
And there we go. We have it. Darian in Raleigh. Darian, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right. The categories that are remaining for you are NFL Florida State alum, all Florida State alumni in the pros, NBA under 35, and NHL Canes and Whalers only.
NBA.
NBA. All right, the way this works, I'll give you the player and the team. You give me the jersey number. Do so as quickly as you can because there'll be 30 seconds on the clock. You do have one pass if you need it. Any questions?
Nah, no questions.
All right, your time will start when you hear the horn. Julius Randle, New York Knicks.
30.
Correct. LaMelo Ball, Charlotte Hornets.
1.
Incorrect. Anthony Hardaway, Orlando Magic.
Anthony Hardaway?
Yes.
Oh, God. Oh, I don't know. Pass.
Chris Mullin, Golden State Warriors.
17.
Correct. LaMelo Ball, Charlotte Hornets.
2. Sorry.
Correct. Anthony Hardaway, Orlando Magic.
20.
Incorrect. Ronnie Cycli, Miami Heat.
32.
Incorrect. Anthony Hardaway, Orlando Magic. I have to admit, I don't know how to pronounce that last one. Ronnie Cycli?
Sure.
Yeah, you got it.
I got it? All right. It sounds vaguely familiar, but I feel like it's from back in the day. Anthony Hardaway, would it have been better if I gave you the nickname Penny Hardaway?
Oh, yeah, that would have been good.
Yep. It's tough. The other day we had William Perry, and I did the same thing. Like afterwards, I can give you the nickname from the refrigerator Perry. Can't do it during.
I should do that, though. That's good.
So Julius Randle, 30, you got that one. LaMelo Ball, you got that one. Anthony Hardaway wore number 1. Penny Hardaway, number 1. Mullen wore number 17. And Cycli wore number 4. So there you go. Those are the ones you missed. 3 would have been a good number. Unfortunately, not enough to win. But thank you for calling in at the last second and participating.
I appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
That means Taylor and Apex, you are the winner.
Awesome. Thank you. Am I allowed to make a shout out?
Sure. Why not? Just keep it, radio friendly.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I'm part of the Raleigh GAA. It's the Irish Sports Club in the Triangle. We just started our season out. We play in Morrisville, so if anyone's looking to try out a new sport, it's a lot of fun. Come check us out.
Wait, is this like Celtic football stuff?
It's Gaelic football, hurling, camogie.
Gaelic. That's what I meant. Gaelic football.
Yep. The Irish national sports, but we have a great club in the Triangle, so if anyone's looking to check it out, you absolutely should.
All right, appreciate the call. Appreciate the win. Sit on the line. Dennis will get the info he needs to make sure you get your tickets. I actually have a random Gaelic football story that I'll tell real quickly here. So I've said it a few times. I don't know why this has been coming up a lot recently. I was one of the holders for the University of Delaware, held for place kicks. When I was a backup quarterback, I was a backup holder. When I was starting quarterback, I was a starting holder. And my freshman year, there was a freshman kicker by the name of Patrick Murray. Some of you may recognize the name, where he came to Delaware, and for the first, 7 practices, we were paired together. He was a kicker, I was the holder, and the kid had a boot, right? Like, I had never experienced what like an NFL kicker felt like because I'd only held for Pop Warner and high school kickers. But the first time we were running through it, caught it, put it down, boom, this thing boomed off of his foot. 4 or 5 practices in, I guess he's not having a good time. He starts talking to me and one of the other quarterbacks about how he's thinking about leaving. Then one day, he knocks on my door, says he's leaving. I'm like, I don't think you should stick it out. Apparently he did not. Woke up the next morning. His dad had come to get him, cleared out his dorm. He had left. Coach has asked me what happened. I told him everything. That happened. The rumor on the street was, right, he didn't tell this to me, but the rumor was he told other people on the team that he didn't want to play college football. He really wanted to play Gaelic football, and he was going to leave. This is where, game of telephone, right, gets passed around a team. He was going to leave the country. He was going to go to Ireland, and he was going to pursue his dream of playing Gaelic football. And it was like, all right, more power to him, right? If that's what he wanted, go chase his dream. A couple years later, he pops up at Fordham in New York, and he's like the Patriot League special team legend. He's making 650-yarders a game. A couple years later, he pops up. My cousin, Mike Glennon, is playing for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and who else is their kicker for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers but Patrick Murray, the kid that was at Delaware for 5 days and then left, reportedly rumored to be going to Gaelic football, ends up playing in the NFL with my cousin. I was like, what a wonderful world. What a small world. That's my Gaelic football story. It's the only one I got.
Yeah, I don't have any.
Couldn't tell you what the difference in rules are. Is it like Aussie rules football? Is it rugby? Is it the Gaelic thing that they use, like the baseball bat that looks a little bit like a golf club? I don't know. But I do know that's how Patrick Murray ended up in the NFL. Kicking for a couple different teams. Kicked for the Browns for a while, too.
Good for Patrick.
Boomed it. When I tell you boomed it, start worrying about your fingers as the holder. Like, if he misses by an inch, my hand's coming off.
Mm-hmm.
He was good, though. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan.
Hey, Dennis Cox here for my friends over at Loan Pronto. Imagine waking up this time next week and being 100% debt-free. I'm talking no credit cards, no car loan, no personal loan. Loan Pronto's Equity Express line of credit can make it all happen. Homeowners are turning their home equity into cash almost instantly. With Loan Pronto's AI-based system, you can get approval in about 10 minutes. With almost no documentation, no appraisal, and no hassle, you can get hundreds of thousands of dollars out of your home. Use that money to pay off all your other loans. The average homeowner saves over $850 a month doing this. Listen, your home value, it's way up. You can use that to wipe out all those credit cards. Get some money out for that home improvement project you want to get done this spring or summer. Literally hundreds of thousands are at your fingertips, and approval is just minutes away. Call now, 919-381-1760, 919-381-1760, loanpronto.com, 919-381-1760, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval, equal housing lender.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan, will look towards one particular Carolina Hurricane that has been leveling up, playing some of the best hockey of his career. We look into why coming up.
Guys, if your bedroom stats need help, let us help make your year a slam dunk. If you're suffering from ED, know that you're not alone. At Arise Urology Clinic for Men in Cary, we can help you get off the bench and back in the game with Core Wave Therapy. We're the only ones in the area to offer this exciting, cutting-edge technology that brings new hope to men relying on pills or painful injections. Call Arise Urology Clinic for Men in Cary at 919-459-5400 or visit CoreWaveTherapy.com.
You know, for some people, the first time they tried a New York City bagel, it was a life-changing event. Same can be said for New York cheesecake. Incredible stuff. But here's what really changed my life about a dozen years ago. Travers LASIK. Dr. Lori Travers changed my life. I was about 2250 in terms of vision, couldn't do anything without glasses or contacts. Then, about 5 minutes per eye later, utterly painless, 20/20 vision. Dr. Lori Travers is the only LASIK specialist in the area, and she made it easy. 0% financing for 24 months is available, and you'll actually save money in the long run when you consider everything that glasses and contact lenses cost you over time. Think about the convenience. That's right, I just wake up and go. Dr. Lori Travers, Travers LASIK, 919-510-6830. Get your free consultation. You can set it up online, traverslasik.com, 919-510-6830, traverslasik.com. See what you've been missing.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. If we can't reduce your tax debt, then you pay nothing. We have a 5-star rating on Google and Yelp and an A+ with the BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-583-6681. That's 800-583-6681.
Tim Donnelly here for DraftKings Sportsbook. The wait is over. DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of NASCAR, is now live in North Carolina. Now you can legally bet on all your favorite sports anytime, anywhere, right here in North Carolina with DraftKings. For a limited time, new customers who sign up with promo code TIMD, that's TIMD with no spaces, and bet $5 will receive $250 instantly in bonus bets. DraftKings has the best features, including same-game parlays, player props, and more, with fast and easy payouts right at your fingertips. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now using code TIMD and bet $5 to get $250 instantly in bonus bets. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook with code TIMD. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 877-185-543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov. 21 plus, North Carolina only. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. Deposit and eligibility restrictions apply. Terms at DraftKings.com/sportsbook/NC. NASCAR is not a sponsor of this promotion and used under license.
The Dugout Tavern and Grill, #1 sports bar in Apex, and your March Hoops headquarters.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Before we dive into a Canes conversation surrounding one of their young stars, quick update on the whole Clemson is suing the ACC thing. Pete Thamel reports the ACC has filed a countersuit against Clemson in Mecklenburg County, the same venue it filed its countersuit against Florida State back in December. So this is the same thing. It is the same paint by numbers, follow along the path like Hansel and Gretel dropping crumbs. They're following the exact same path they took for Florida State with Clemson. I don't think it changes anything that we've talked about over the last 2 days, but I wanted to make sure you stayed updated. Now let's talk Canes.
Yeah, let's talk fun things.
Let's talk about maybe the most fun Cane.
Oh.
Seth Jarvis.
Yeah, he's pretty cool.
Is Seth Jarvis the big winner of the trade deadline?
Might be.
There have been 7 games since the deadline. Seth Jarvis has 5 goals in his last 4 games. He has 7 points in his last 6 games. Those numbers are mighty close to 7. Seems like once the trade deadline happened, Seth Jarvis has leveled up. He's become more aggressive. He's become more effective. He's having a higher level of production. Now, it's a small sample size, and I expect him to average like 1.2 goals per game from now until the end of the year? No. I completely understand that's only possible in a small sample size.
I mean, unless you're going to do it.
If he is suddenly the best scorer in the game, then he's definitely the big winner of the trade deadline. Matter of fact, let's hear from Seth himself. Here he is on the team making a push for the playoffs.
Yeah, we've been doing good. I think we've just been staying positive. I think we've had a few games like in Toronto. We were kind of behind the 8 ball a little bit, but just battling, sticking with it. I mean, it's been a good job, just kind of keeping the room composed and being able to battle through that.
So let's think about this. Let's try to take it the next level, right? And we acknowledge for the last 7 games, 6 games, 5 games, Seth has been lights out. Jarvis been lights out. Seems, based on that conversation that you just heard from him, good vibes, right? Everybody's playing well. Everybody's making a push. The next level isn't what's happening. The next level is how is it happening. The next level is why is it happening, and how can you make sure it continues to happen, right? Because if something great is happening but you don't know how or why it's happening, you're just going to sit back and hope that it keeps going, and you have no say over it. But once you discover the cause, then suddenly you have some autonomy. You have some control. So how does it happen? Why does it happen? Well, if something happens after the trade deadline, it's very easy to point towards the trade acquisitions and say it's their fault. Here's Jake Gensel on his impressions of Carolina.
It's been unbelievable here. The guys have taken me in. It's been a whirlwind, but nice to kind of relax now and play some games, and you get to know people in the game environment. So it's been different for me, but it's been fun.
Aho, Jarvis, Gensel. It's been a good line.
Yeah.
You could just say at least part of this boost by Jarvis is due to Gensel setting him up, Gensel being a threat, being a magnetic force that the defense has to pay attention to, right? It is definitely possible that part of Jarvis playing very, very well is Gensel is there.
Very much.
You could also dive into the social dynamics of the team, right? It could be a mental thing. It could be maybe Jarvis got lit a fire under his you-know-what because he's supposed to be one of the goal scorers, and they made big moves at the deadline to go get goal scorers. Might be a little bit of like a goalie when they acquire a goalie going, this is my net. Could be Jarvis looking at the guys. I'm the timely goal scorer around here. I haven't added the experience necessary, but it's my net. Maybe that's it. That's a possibility as well, right? A lot of people credit Jordan Love being drafted with why Aaron Rodgers won 2 more MVPs, because he was like, no, you're going to draft my replacement? Phooey. I don't think Aaron Rodgers in private uses words like phooey, but maybe. Who knows? I think he uses, never mind. I'm not going to predict what that guy talks about when we aren't listening.
Nor should we.
Not going to go there. Not going to that. What about this, though? I was thinking about this, and this one came about this afternoon. So me and Dennis, everything I've said here, Dennis has heard already. He has not heard this next point.
Oh, okay.
What does Kuzi bring to the table, Kuznetsov?
Vision and passing.
What does he bring as a personality?
Fun.
What has Jarvis been pretty much required to be the guy that brings for the Canes for the last year?
Fun.
Yeah. Do you think in a weird way, and I know I'm stretching here, so before everybody in the YouTube comments goes, oh my gosh, you're stretching, I know it. I'm a goalie getting ready for a game. You got to loosen up.
Okay.
I'm stretching. Do you think it's kind of a nice break for him? He doesn't have to be on all the time? Because he very much has been the guy keeping everybody young, right? He's been the guy providing the jokes, the laughter all season. And I'm not saying that's like the worst thing in the world, right? He's 21, 22 years old?
He just turned 22.
Oh, gosh, the 22-year-old had to have energy. I'm not doing that, but I am saying Kuzi brings some of that. Right? And you hear this with like comedians, right? When every time they bump into someone at the grocery store, everybody's expecting them to be a laugh a minute. When you have Jarvis and the social media team is nearby, everyone's expecting him to be a laugh a minute, right? Everyone's expecting him to have the funny pop culture references. Everyone's expecting him to be doing donuts in the parking lot. Everyone's expecting him to just be energy, fun. Now he has like a Bash brother, right? Now he has Kuznetsov, who's at least keeping Orly laughing. He's at least keeping Orlov and a little funny, right? Like he's doing the bird dance. He's feeling the flow. Could that have opened up Jarvis to relax a little and not have to be just always on? Maybe. I know it's a stretch, but maybe. Right? Maybe next year you bring in like Kevin Hart as a healthy scratch. and then Jarvis will go lights out. Then he'll score 100 points next year because, Kevin Hart will have the jokes. Maybe that's where you go next. All I know is this. The last 6 games, Seth Jarvis has been lights out. And if you get that Seth Jarvis on the push for the postseason, in the postseason, it makes everybody better, right? Gensel, and if they keep Aho, Jarvis, and Gensel on the same line, those are 3 very high IQ hockey players. Mm-hmm. All they're going to do is get better and better at the freaky nonverbal thing where, how did you know I was going to be there? I don't know. I just had a feeling. You backhanded it without turning around, and I was there for the goal. They're just going to get better and better and better at that. Again, do I expect him to have 1.2 goals per game for the rest of the season? No. Do I expect him to average, 7 points every 6 games, whatever that math comes out to, 1.14 points per game? No, I don't. But I do understand that Jarvis is still on the upward trajectory, right? There are still more levels for him to get to. And just like even taking away how impressed I've been with his play, and I've loved his selflessness. I've loved him putting his body on the line. He'll slide in front of a shot. He'll hustle back on defense. He'll do all of the little things. Not only am I impressed by that, but I'm impressed by the fact that he just turned 22 years old. Mm-hmm. And there are very few professional athletes of any kind at just turned 22 years old that I go, you know what? They're probably done developing. This is probably the best they're ever going to be. There is additional levels for him to get to, and I hope he gets there.
I hope so, too. I think he's, like you said, 22 years old. He's been durable. He played all 82 games last season. He's played all 69 games so far this year. 25 goals, career high. 30 assists, career high. Points, 55, career high. I predicted, you and I did predictions at the beginning of the year. I predicted a 60-point season for Seth Jarvis. Feeling pretty confident about that.
What is he up to? He's got to be close.
He's 55.
55. Did you just say that?
I did.
I was reading the stat.
That's fine. But here's something to keep in mind as well, is that if you look at who he was playing with for a chunk of the last 30 games or something like that, even 20 games, he's been playing alongside Jordan Staal and Jordan Martinook. Guys that get a lot of zone time and puck possession time, but aren't really known as like guys who can dish out passes and finish scoring opportunities and things like that. You look at the Toronto game, gets a power play goal in that game, and also during that game is when he actually gets paired with Aho and with Jake Gensel. And then sure enough, we've seen the offensive output these last couple of games, especially from Seth Jarvis. Being put with Gensel, Aho, and being put with Gensel and Aho, he has 4 goals in the last 3 games, all during that stretch where he's played with those 2 other guys. So sometimes playing with those high-end players also open things up for you as well.
I thought for a second there you were going with like a 4-man line or something.
They might.
You're like Aho, Gensel, when he's paired with Aho, Gensel, and
himself.
and Aho, and then also Gensel. I was like, what is he doing? I thought you were going to say a particular, like, and Slavin, or maybe it was a power play you were going for. Maybe that was it. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan.
Hey, Dennis Cox here for my friends over at Deep River Sporting Clays and Shooting School. Check them out online, deepriversportingclays.com. Actually, the other day, this past weekend, my girlfriend and I were just sitting on the couch just having a conversation, and I said, hey, our birthdays are coming up here in the next few months. We both have June birthdays. Any idea what you want to do for your birthday? And things like, she's like, I have no idea. I ain't thought about that. It's kind of far away. I was like, actually, it's 3 months away. If you're like me, you're probably already thinking about different plans that you want to do this spring and this summer, and maybe even into the fall. You're starting to plan some of those things out. Well, look no further than Deep River Sporting Clays and Shooting School, because it's more than just a place to shoot. Yes, they have the 13 target course on the beautiful 65-acre area just outside Sanford. Yes, they have that. They have the target range. They have archery set up as well for you if you want to improve your skills there. They also have the wobble deck and some other stuff out there for you for your shooting needs, but also they have outdoor pavilions, an outdoor fire pit. So after you get done with your round of clays, you can head outside, have your cookout, have your birthday party, you name it. Deep River Sporting Clays and Shooting School. Check them out online, deepriversportingclays.com, to see all that they have for memberships, their online store, so much more to offer, including their shooting school, deepriversportingclays.com.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan, coming to a close, but we have Overdrive coming up next. To get you in the college basketball mood, we'll talk cons and cons. The first four coming up later right here on 99.9 The Fan. Enjoy Overdrive in the meantime. We'll see you tomorrow for a morning edition at 10 a.m.
It's bow time.
Finally, lunchtime. I'm starving.
What's that?
This is the Bojangler from Bojangles.
Ooh, with the same bold flavor as their chicken?
The same.
And fries.
The same.
Huh. Well, I've got a PB&J.
Yeah, that's not the same.
A crispy fish fillet dusted in Bo's famous seasoning. With cheese and tartar sauce on a fluffy bun, the Bojangler's back. Hook one while you can. It's bow time.
There's no time like Bojangler time. Time to stop whatever you're doing and head over to Bojangles to try the Bojangler Fish Fillet Sandwich. You heard right, the Bojangler Fish Fillet Sandwich. A perfectly seasoned, light, flaky, wild-caught Alaskan pollock fish fillet sandwich. For limited time at participating Bojangles. Make it a combo and add Bojangles seasoned fries and legendary iced tea. Hungry for Bojangles but in the mood for something different? Then it's Bojangler time.
Tax Talk with Straight Talk.
You give and you give. This tax season, you get with Straight Talk Wireless. You get a reliable 5G network and unlimited data and a new Samsung Galaxy A15 for just $99. So you can give your janky phone to your kid. Yeah! Good talk.
Switch to Straight Talk for plans starting as low as $25 a line per month for 4 lines. Find us at Walmart and StraightTalk.com. For network management practices, visit StraightTalk.com. Device offer ends 4/14/24. In-store activation on single Silver Unlimited plan or higher required. Family plan discount with 4 lines, all on the Silver Unlimited plan. Taxes and fees apply.
Tim Donnelly here, and I want to let you know March is a critical time to check your home's windows. Call the pros at Window Nation. Right now, for every 2 windows you buy, you get 2 windows free. Plus 0 down, 0 interest, and no payments for 24 months. Call 866-90-NATION or visit windownation.com now.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online at hims.com/joy. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation to determine the ED medication that's best for you. Discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and a range of treatment options, including trusted generic alternatives